Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side damage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out nigga like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all. All right. That's Brother Eric. Title of the song is title of the track is called Relapse, and that is off of his music compilation. You can catch him at 16 to Life at the webpage, at the YouTube webpage, 16 to Life, or you can catch him at 16tolife.com. Good dude, man. Good dude. You can go over there and catch him over there and support the brother. The brother did 24 years in the California State Penitentiary. I also did an interview with him. Man. You can go through my catalog and look for that. But yeah, it's good, brother, man. Good brother, man. Good-hearted brother. If you ever get a chance to sit down and holler at the brother, holler at him. Go over to his channel and check out some of his. He's got some really funny stories, man. Really, really funny stories. He used to live a really hard street life, and so he's got a lot of funny stories about the street life. But good dude, man. Good dude. All right, so that was that. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? Man, my grandmother used to say, any day you could see a bird of color, you were having a good day. She used to say that, she was part Native American, man, but she used to say, anytime you see a bird outside, you having a good day. You know what I mean? You ain't in the hospital, you ain't in jail, you ain't caught up, you ain't pushing daisies. You're doing all right. You at least got a chance, right? You got a chance. I'm sorry I'm so late, y'all. One of my sons, we had to rush him to emergency. He was having some difficulty breathing, so we had to take him to emergency. He's okay now, but they're just checking him out. But I keep telling them boys stuff to not eat and stuff to not do. But you know what I'm saying? Some of these times, if you have three, you're gonna at least have one rebel in the bunch. And my oldest boy is my rebel. He makes other people prove me right. He makes everybody else got to tell him, hey, and then he goes, hey, yeah, my father told me that. Yeah, no ish. All right, everybody, glad to see you. I hope y'all Sunday is doing well. Today we're gonna talk about the Manosphere and do men need love? Do we need love? Do we need companionship? Well, we want companionship, but do we need it? I mean, is it better for us to have it? A lot of the stats show that we live longer and live better when we have a good woman with us. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay, but first we got to get to everything else because I got to move because we started so late. Okay, so let me get to the news. Okay. Those of y'all that live in Alabama, watch out. Start locking your doors. Alabama prisoner serving murder sentence escapes in Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, Alabama, the Alabama Department of Corrections is searching for an inmate convicted of murder who escaped Saturday afternoon. Kyle David, an inmate assigned to the Montgomery-based Red Eagle Work Center, left his assigned job location about 5:15 p.m. The department did not provide any details on specifically where David's assigned job location was. The escapee is now serving a 99-year sentence excuse me, for a 2000 murder for the year 2000 murder conviction out of Etowah County. David's custody classification lists him as a minimum out inmate, meaning ADOC considers such inmates do not pose a significant risk to self or others and suitable to be assigned off-property work, details without the direct supervision of correctional officers. Yikes. The classification also requires that such inmates must remain in prison clothing at all times, and work is generally assigned to only government positions, i.e. county, city, county, etc., etc. Inmates in this custody are generally assigned to community work centers with higher security facilities only maintain a small amount of job assignments requiring minimal supervision. David, 49, is 5'11", approximately 190 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on David's location is asked to call the Alabama Department of Corrections. Ouch. Okay, you guys out there in Alabama or in surrounding areas, watch out, close your doors, right? This guy is out there and, he's a murderer and not to say he's a bad person, but until you're able to sit down and find out the circumstances of the situation, always protect yourself at all times, right? Always protect yourself at all times. And you know what? Let me shout out everybody that's here. Truth is favored. Truth is never favored. Is in the building. Shout out to Brother Truth. Risa Niels. Shout out to Sister Risa. Glad to have you guys in the building. Sister Annie. Glad to have you in the building. Good to see you. And Brother Chris, salute. Glad to see you. Glad to see you guys in the building. Thank you for showing up on this Sunday when you guys could have been doing almost anything else and we appreciate you. So that was the news story, man. You guys got to watch out. Check yourself at all times, because it's a lot of dudes out here, man. They crazy, and they they're impulsive type guys, and they might just show up at your front door, right? Used to be a time in America where you could help somebody needed help or something. I wouldn't just say America, just just in this continent, period, North and South America. You could just help people, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need help. You know what I mean? You could just, put out the welcome mat. Now you can't do that. You can't do that. It's safer to be more concerned for your own safety than their situation. It's better to, and what the government calls that is, it's better to err on the side of the public. You mean that, if you're wrong, at least you erring on the side of the public, right? So it's better to err on your own side, right? If you're wrong about the person, well, I'd rather be wrong, but I kept my family safe than to let the person into the house, and the next thing you know, you find out they run away prisoners or whatever. All right, y'all, let's move on because we got a lot to get to. The hit parade. Air Force general convicted of SEX misconduct for forcibly kissing his sister-in-law. Ouch! Air Force Major General William Coley became the highest-ranking officer in Air Force history to be convicted of a crime when a military judge found him guilty of SEX misconduct on Saturday. Cooley was convicted of forcibly kissing a civilian Air Force employee and acquitted of 2 other alleged forcible touching incidents. The general commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory near Dayton, Ohio from 2017 to 2020. The trial was held in Ohio, but the charge reportedly stemmed from an incident that took place in New Mexico in 2018 when Coley gave the victim, who, according to the Air Force Times, was also Cooley's sister-in-law, ouch, a ride home from the barbecue. Oh man, those ride homes, that'll get you guys in trouble all the time, right? You think because she got in the car, she's cool with the total program, and may not be. You may not even be on their mind. She just need a ride home. Hopefully, this is not difficult for the next survivor, the victim said in a statement via her attorney. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Clarence, why do you do the hit parade? Because of 2 reasons. Number one, for the women to show that, hey, man, you can never totally relax with a guy you don't know. You can never totally relax. And then you got to watch your children with all these coaches and these trainers and all. You got to watch your children. Then on the other end, for the men, it's not just like it was. See, there was a time where you could make a mistake as far as disrespecting a woman, SEX wise, and she would just say, "Get away from me," right? Leave me alone, slap your face, whatever, and just walk away from. Women don't do that nowadays. They can. You can make one mistake, and instead of just getting punished for it, learning from it and retooling your life, it ain't about retooling you no more. It's about they have the avalanche effect where your whole life is just taken over. Your whole life is done. This guy, this general, he's done. He's done. It's it. It's a wrap for him. It's a wrap. And he probably thought, hey, yeah, I'm General so and so. I'm good. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's why we as men, we got to learn, man. The days of just rolling up on somebody, groping them and grabbing them, that's over. Those days are over. Ask Bill Cosby. Ask Louis K.C. Ask these people, man, their whole careers got flushed down the toilet for doing dumb stuff. And which one of us as men has not done something stupid like that? We all have done stupid stuff like that, man. Because we didn't know no better at the time. We had to learn. We had to find out by getting speared in the throat that, oh, that's not cool. It's not cool to send pictures of myself, of my genitalia to other people, that's not cool. We got to learn that the hard way, right? Most of us, right? Because there's nobody there to tell us that's a dumb thing to do, right? But so I apologize, women, for us and how we do things sometimes because we just don't know. No, there's nobody to tell us as men that that's dumb, right? And usually most men that do dumb stuff like this, they don't consult with other men. Hey, I'm thinking about going over and groping. We don't tell each other what we're gonna do. Women will tell each other, I think I'm gonna go do this with this man. What do you think? And the counsel will give her some advice. See, men don't do that. Men don't go get no advice. Men just go do it and then get caught in the ramifications, right? But y'all got to look out, man. You as men, we as men, it's a new day. These women are not dealing with it no more. They're not dealing with it no more. So if you want to protect your life, that's why I have a course I'm teaching, and it's called No Means No. And basically, I'm just showing these youngsters how and what the implications of them just impulsively moving and doing things to have it's gonna have on their life. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was back then. There's cameras everywhere now, and these women are willing to tell their story to anybody, and I'm not saying they wrong. I'm just saying it's a different mentality today than it was back in the day. It's just a different mentality. All right, so that was that. Today we're gonna do rescuing Black boys. We're gonna encourage, enlighten, strengthen, and educate. We're gonna finish a little bit of the article, do a little bit more of the article on from the Brookings Institute. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more of that. So let me share that article, and because why, Clarence? Who cares about Black boys, Clarence? Who cares? Nobody cares. You're right. Nobody does care, except for a few of us. All right. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Well, because I want you guys to see that the challenges facing Black men. Oh, here we go, Clarence, with the Victim Olympics. You're running the Victim Olympics again. What Victim Olympics? I'm just giving you the statistics. I'm just showing you the statistics. I'm telling you, 3rd grade, you need to be hitting Black boys with math and science in the 3rd grade hard. Oh, but Clarence, they can't handle. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. If they can play baseball, basketball, you know how many computations. I remember one time I was sitting in the Long Beach Mosque out here in Long Beach, California, and shout out to brother student minister Jason. He was teaching on the how you have to. A lot of our people think that they're not good at math, especially our athletes. They feel like they're not good with math. Brother Jason went into how these brothers, they have to do so many computations in their head, right? Whatever sport they play. Baseball, they got to judge the speed of the ball, the distance, how fast they should swing, and where they want it to go. They got to do all those computations in a blink of an eye, right? We were taught, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the speed of the brain is 24 billion miles per second, right? That's how fast the thoughts move in the brain, right? But now we got all these young men, man. They doing all these computations of basketball. You got to judge. You got to judge where 9 of the players are, how fast they're moving towards you, what's going on, what are they setting up, what the defense might do. You got to make all those computations in a split second. Football, you run it down the line. You got to know where 23 other people are. You got to know where they are in relationship to you, how fast they are moving towards you. You got to do all these computations. If they throw you a pass, you got to be able to compute how fast the ball is coming, when to raise your arms and go up and get it. I mean, you got to do all these computations. And I said, you know what? This brother's right. It's a lot of mathematics. So if they can handle those mathematics, they can handle these mathematics. They can handle these mathematics. Third grade. Third grade. Black boys need the third. Otherwise, you have black men that when they, and I explained this to you guys before. What happens is if you don't give them mathematics in the third grade, and I showed you the statistics of fourth grade black boys, they are the lowest in all categories, mathematics, science, everything. They're in the lowest category of all of that stuff. Why? Because we don't push it to them. It's us. We have to push it. We have to push it to them. If we don't push it to them, and I'm specifically talking to black men, not so much black women, but black men. Black men, we got to get back into our children's lives. Clarence, you trying to say none of us end up like? No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking to the ones of us that's not doing this. We got to do it. We have no choice. We have no choice. We are going to price ourselves out of the STEM market. STEM is what's coming. STEM is what's coming. STEM is not what STEM is here. And you got about another 10 years to aggregate everybody into that kind of mentality. If we don't aggregate everybody into that mentality, and we keep thinking they're going to, sing and dance their way into white people's hearts, and they're going to make a bunch of money, and that's how they're going to do it. No. That may work for some of us, but the percentage of people that's going to work for is so small. How about giving them something that has a high percentage? STEM, you got a high percentage of being able to work for yourself. High percentage being able to write your own check. High percentage, you know what I mean? Because people, when it comes down to productivity, people don't care what your color is. You can't call racism when it comes to productivity, because people want to make money, and they don't give a damn what your color is. This is not the 50s. This is not the 40s. This is not 1860, where that mattered. That doesn't matter no more. The global market does not care about racism anymore. It does not. All they care about is productivity, making money. Can they make money with you? Can they make money with you? That's the only thing they care about. Can they make money with you? If you're not qualified, they can't. How do we not qualify our children? We're not pushing them into the mathematics and science early. We let this public school system teach them. I'm just talking about us as black people. We letting the public schools and then when they don't know nothing, we blame the public school system. There's no time as you and me as black people, we should be blaming the public school system. No time. We should never be blaming the public school system. The public school system is just to give them a framework. That's just a framework of how to do things and how the world is probably going to ask them to do things. That's a framework. You and me, we're supposed to fill in the frame. We're supposed to fill it in. We got to tell them, we got to talk to them and teach them about mathematics. Black boys need mathematics. Third grade. Fourth grade is too late. Third grade. Let's take a look at some of this information here. I'll read a little bit more as the weeks goes on. Black men are twice as likely to be unemployed as white men. Why? Because you're black? No, because you're unprepared. You're not prepared. That's why. Oh, Clarence, you trying to say racism don't exist? Of course racism exists. But racism is powered by your ignorance, our ignorance. Trust me, if enough of us are sound in mathematics and science, racism ain't gonna have nothing to do with nothing. You know what? Proof? Look at the Asians. When the Asians first came in here, they wouldn't let them do nothing but work on the railroads and wash clothes. Am I right or am I wrong? They looked at the Chinese people as inferior people. They look at all of the Asian people as inferior people. Am I right or am I wrong? But the Chinese, you know what they did? They did whatever jobs they had to do, and they pooled their resources, and they built a community over here. They built a community. And they don't do like black people. I'm FBA, I'm ADOS, I'm this, I'm that, I'm Caribbean, I'm this. They don't separate themselves. They say we Asian. That's why they get a bill. It's an Asian bill. It's not a FBA Chinese bill and a ADOS trying to be, and I have nothing against those things. I'm just saying they don't separate each other like we do. That separation keeps you. You can't unify when you got all these separators. It's difficult. It's difficult to people respect you as a group when you always separating yourself. But look at the Asian community. There was a time when people they treated Asians so bad, right? They didn't put them in concentration camps in the 40s. Now look at them. Now look at them. White people standing in line trying to run their ads on Asian networks. They stand in line trying to get loans from Asian banks. Huh? What happened? What happened? The Asian qualified himself. He qualified himself. He qualified himself. Now, there's a couple of generations of Asians had to endure so that the later Asians could qualify themselves. But now they're here. They're here. The Asians ain't got to ask nobody for nothing. They ain't got to walk in no no white banks. They walk into their own banks, borrow money from their own banks. Why? Because they just kept stomping. They kept on stomping. They didn't stop and say, hey, I'm a Chinese person from this province. You're a Chinese person from that province. So we're going to be. They realize they're here. We're here. They say they see you the same way they see me. So let's work together. And they did. You want another example? You want another example? Let me give you another example. Let me give you an example of our Latino brothers and sisters. They came over here when they first started coming to immigrating to America. They used to have signs in the window in Texas and New Mexico and Arizona and even in California. They would have in restaurants. They would have signs: no dogs or Mexicans allowed. Right? No dogs or Mexicans allowed in the store, in the place. They didn't even have to have signs for us. We knew better, right? We already knew they didn't want us in there, but they would have a sign there, right? Or you got to come around to the back. You can't enter in the front entrance. You got to go in the back entrance, right? Because you're gonna upset the white people that's eating in the front. This is just the truth. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. But what happened? What happened to the Latinos? What happened? When they first came here, man, they was laughed at. They were laughed at. People looked at them as they was inferior intellects. They were stupid. Now look at them. White people are trying to get on Univision. They're trying to get on their. They're trying to sell their products on their networks. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that, but I'm just trying to show you how they work together. They work together to try to build this thing, to build something for them, for themselves, because they understand. They understand that, hey, we got to work together. I don't think we're doing that. Well, I don't think we're doing that. Let me get to Rorschach. Excuse me. Rorschach says, feminism is destroying our boys. It's not feminism, Rorschach. Feminism is a part of it, but what's destroying our boys is the absence of the dads. The absence of the dads, I don't care what you do. If the fathers are there and teaching the sons, you have nothing that's going to destroy the boys. Nothing is going to overpower that. Nothing is going to be stronger than the bond between the father and the son. But if the father's not living with the child, you're going to have a situation like what we were talking about with the Dwight Howard situation. It's going to be chaos, right? Part of the ethos of the black feminism is women producing incompetent reproduction, child rearing, to justify a consolidation of power with the women. Well, I'd say it like this. Sometimes, a lot of times that, well, I won't say a lot, but that happens. That happens. But overall, that is not the major issue. The major issue is the absence of the father. A lot of these men, they have a situation happen where they lose trust in the woman, or the woman lose trust in them, and they feel like they just can't live together and they don't want to be together anymore. The father leaves and he is out of the picture. He only has his visitations, and that's it. And and because he wants a social life so bad, that's what he's chasing, is his social life, is his high value man status. That's what he's chasing, not these children that he got here that he needs to pushing them on to math and science. He trying to be a high value man. Brochek says feminism and single motherhood is also annihilating white men out of academia, especially STEM. It's becoming a norm in software for white men to be solely represented in executive positions. Well, I mean, you know, that may be true, but feminism is the golden staircase for single motherhood. I will give you that, Rorschach. But that is not the major issue. The major issue is I don't care if it's white, black, red, yellow, green, Latino, whoever. When the father is out of the house, that is a significant blow, especially to the sons. That's a significant blow, right? Now your household is being led by someone who is typically emotionally responding to almost any stimulus. And sometimes you need somebody who's a rock, and you don't have the rock there, then what? Not saying women are stupid, but a lot of times they will react to different things emotionally first. After they calm down, they may look at it and say, okay, maybe this is a better way to go. But a lot of times, most of the time, men will say, okay, well, this is what has to be done. It has to be done, right? Ain't no what good is crying about it gonna do? Like, that's why we as men look at it. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this. Black men are twice likely to be unemployed as white men. That's and this is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So it's not me. Oh, Clarence, you cherry picking. Don't go to black demographics. Don't go to that. I'm not. This is the Brookings Institute, very respected publication. Okay, life expectancy. Women live longer than men on average, but there are big race gaps too. Life expectancy is lowest for black men among black and white people, according to the CDC. Ever heard of the CDC? The CDC statistics, both at birth and at age 65. For white men, life expectancy at birth is about 6 years lower than at age 65. But for black men, the gap is over 9 years, showing that black men are more likely to die prematurely. Why are you dying prematurely, black man? Why? Because you are unprepared. You are not prepared. Nobody's preparing you for what telling you, hey, you should eat better. And even if we do tell you you should eat better, you won't listen. You won't listen, right? You want to do what you want to do. Now Elijah Muhammad came out with 2 books, How to Eat to Live 1 and How to Eat to Live 2. Right? Very simple, and they're thin books. They're really thin books. They're not big encyclopedias. They're real thin books. Giving you a diet of what you should eat, should and should not eat. Right? Do we want to do that as black people? No. I want to live where I want to eat where I... Let me tell y'all a story. So I've probably been in the nation, I've probably been in the mosque probably about a year, right? So a friend of mine needed a ride over to her father's house to pick up some stuff for her new place. So I went. I said, okay, I got a day off. I'll take you over there, right? And so so when I went there, while she was getting the stuff together to move, I was talking to her father. Rest in peace. Shout out to the brother. Rest in peace. And so her father happened to be cooking some pork chops at the time, right? So I was talking to him, and I said, hey man, those pork chops probably ain't the best thing for you to eat. And of course he was a little portly. And so I said, hey man, man, look at this dude. he went from such a nice person into this, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You ever seen that, man, on the cartoons where they spin around real fast and now they're Dr. Jekyll, right? So he went from that to that, and he said, "Hey, man, don't talk to me about what I need to be eating." I said, "Ooh, okay." Now before that, we were having such a nice conversation, right? But I realized, hey, okay, our people, we want to eat what we want to eat. You know what I mean? Even if it means, hey, later on, we're going to have all of these different health problems, health challenges. We want to eat what we want to eat. We want to drink what we want to drink. Excuse me. So what could I do? But I just thought that was funny, man, how he just flipped out on me like that. Brother said white women is choosing not to reproduce, not couple with productive men, and to elect to divorce for frivolous issues for them. As critical as I am of black women, white women are jumping from a higher ledge. I would say the uneducated are. The ones that don't want to really face the truth of the situation. The ones that say things like the wall doesn't exist and, there's you don't have to, there's no rush in trying to have children and stuff like that. The ones of them that are outside of reality, I agree with you. They are, but you got to admit, Rorschach, that feminism sold them the dream first. Feminism sold them the dream first. Black women saw how they were moving through society unfettered, and then black women jumped on the bandwagon. Some of them. I don't want to say all black women, but some of them. Just like I can't say all white women are with the feminist dogma, but enough of them are to make a significant dent in the raising of the children. And same thing in the black community. Like you said it best. You said it yesterday, Rorschach, that feminism has taught that men are basically optional in having a family structure. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Peace to Sister Q, Sister Quantum. Good to see you in the building. Thank you for stopping through. Okay, so let's finish up with the Brookings Institute. I'm only going to read a few more, just a little more. Black men died 4 years earlier than white men. Holy smokes. Why is that? Why are we dying? Because you're black? No, it's because your diet and lifestyle. Your diet and lifestyle. If you ate better and had less stress, you live longer. Okay, so I'm going to leave it right there, and we're gonna move on from here because I got a lot to get to, y'all, and that's already been 38 minutes, and we got a lot to cover. Okay, so what are we gonna talk about next? Well, y'all, we got the Black History Minute. The Black History Minute. Who is Benjamin Banneker? Anybody out there know who Benjamin Banneker is? Raise your hand. You guys don't know who Benjamin Banneker is. Stop lying. Stop playing. Benjamin Banneker. All right, we're gonna just do a little bit about Benjamin Banneker. Benjamin Banneker, born November 9th, 1731, passed away October 19th, 1806. Was an African American nationalist, mathematician, astronomer, and almanac author. He was a landowner who also worked as a surveyor and farmer. Born in Baltimore County, Maryland, Rico, to a free African American mother and a father who had formerly been enslaved. Banneker had little or no formal education and was largely self-taught. He became known for assisting Major Andrew Ellicott in a survey that established the original borders of the District of Columbia, the federal capital district of the United States. Banneker's knowledge of astronomy helped him author a commercially successful series of almanacs. See, there wasn't no internet. There wasn't no Google at the time, right? You had to have stuff in almanacs, right? Books that had projections of what was coming, the weather, the seasons, the stars, alignment, and everything. You had to have the books called almanacs. knowledge of astronomy helped him author a commercially successful series of almanacs. He corresponded with Thomas Jefferson on topics of slavery and racial equality. Abolitionists and advocates of racial equality promoted and praised Banneker's works. Although fire on the day of Banneker's funeral destroyed many of his papers and belongings. One of his journals and several of his remaining artifacts are presently available for public viewing. Banneker became a folk hero after his death, leading to many accounts of his life being exaggerated or embellished. The names of parks, schools, and streets commemorate him and his works, as do other tributes. Okay, so Benjamin Banneker, his claim to fame was he was the one that laid out the borders for the District of Columbia. Ever heard of Washington D.C.? I think so. Well, he was the one that kind of laid out, those borders. He did the surveying because there was a guy that was hired to do the surveying, and for some reason he quit or left or whatever. They brought in Benjamin Banneker, and so Benjamin Banneker did that. I just see if he got anything else noteworthy I wanted to go into, because I want you guys to see. You guys should know about these things, but I want you to look them up yourself. Benjamin Banneker made a wooden clock. He made a clock made entirely out of wood that kept good time for years. He was this dude was a smart dude, man. Smart dude, self-taught, smart dude. So just because somebody don't have what do you call that, capital letters after their name, doesn't mean they don't know anything. This man was very smart, very, very smart, and he had almanacs, and he was he also he had something fell down. I was looking around, what fell down? Yeah, he had some almanacs that had eclipses that were timed, and the eclipses happened just on the times where he said. Good dude, man. You got to check him out. Benjamin Banneker. You got to check him out. All right, y'all. So that is the Black History Minute. Benjamin Banneker. Go check him out. He laid out DC and did some other work for the government. You know what I mean? But don't just take my word for it. Go check it out for yourself. Dig that. Shout out to Benjamin Banneker. Let me see. Who's in the building? JP, the Aspiring Matriarch. JP, the Aspiring Matriarch. Peace, knowledge, and joy. Let's talk about Better Black Life and chat. How's your spirit? Citizens, how's your spirit? Ay. I saw a little bit of her this morning. I saw a little bit of JP. If you haven't already checked out JP, the Aspiring Matriarch, go there and check it out. Man, ain't nobody hustling you nothing over there. Ain't nobody selling you a course or a program or nothing like that, man. It's just people, man, JP she'll tell you she love you, and then she'll fuss at you. So go on over there. go on over there. I saw her fussing with Big Rigs over there this morning. I was like, Big Rigs, you ain't gonna win, man. I wish I could have told him, man, but I was like, Big Rigs, give it up, brother. You're not gonna win. Shout out to Big Rigs. Shout out to Big Rigs. It was a good try. It was a good try, Big Rigs, but you're not gonna win with JP. All right, Chelsea, I know. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. We got one last thing to go. Full stack developer. Y'all know what a full stack developer is? I know you do, Rorschach. But the rest of us, what is a full stack developer? How much does a full stack developer make? Well, obviously, when we're talking about developing, we're talking about developing web applications, right? And that type of thing, right? Okay, so a full stack developer, average base salary. Do you hear me? Base. That's starting salary. Average base salary, $101,334 annually. base salary, base salary. What's stopping see, what happens is our children, they screw around. I'm talking about particularly black children. They screw around with math and science so much in their school, in their scholastic career. By the time they get to the 12th grade, they are so far behind trying to get a handle on mathematics and science. At that point, it's like climbing Mount Everest on your hands. That's how it looks to them. That's the kind of challenge it looks like to them. So let's not put them in that position. Let's third grade. Especially the boys, third grade. The girls are not in such a bad situation. The boys are in a horrible situation. Black boys, they are doing the worst in every metric of math and science testing. They are the worst. They are the worst. If you add in black girls, the numbers go up just a little bit. Just a little bit. But black boys by themselves, they're doing horrible. Now let me ask you something, brothers and sisters. How are our children going to be able to take care of themselves in a world that is ever increasingly embracing the STEM situation? How are they going to be able to, there's only so much hustling you can do on the street. There ain't enough space on the streets for all our people to get out there and hustle. Right? How are you going? What are our people? What are our children going to do? See, while me and you, we trying to chase all these women and all these skirts, we leaving our children to suffer behind. We leaving them behind. Just think, if you put as much hours and attention into your children as you do into your social and social media life, man, where would your children be? And where would you be? Where are you gonna be? If your children do well, and your children see and understand that you are the reason why that you push them to get there, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna do like Shaq did when he bought his mother a mansion. It's an investment in yourself. Your children are an investment in yourself. But we don't see it that way because we got all these skirts we got to chase. It's a really sad situation, man, for a lot of us. It's really sad. It's a really sad situation. JP said, "Are you sure this is a loving shout out?" Yes, JP. Only I can do it. Nobody else better not do it like that. I can do it though. Right? Like, I can talk about my sister, but you can't. I can mush your head, but you can't. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we got it. Third grade, boys, third grade. Science, math and science, third grade. Okay, let me tell y'all about this. What you need to be to become a full stack developer. Because they say they're giving away a bonus of $5,000 most of the time, a signing bonus. Which one of y'all had a signing bonus of $1,000? Where I came up, there wasn't nobody giving no $1,000, no signing bonus. You don't get no signing bonus. You were begging to get a job. Now, if you qualified, you can get a job almost anywhere, right? But Marcus said, high value men do not die alone because they will either have multiple women or wives, a solid one that ain't a 304 or minor street stroller. No, brother. People only do if you're living the high value lifestyle whereby which you telling people, hey, I'm with you, and I want you to understand that I'm going to have relations with other women because I make a certain amount of money. Do you think a woman like that is going to, when you get into a certain state of health decline, do you think that kind of woman is going to say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna stay with the business"? I don't think so. I don't think so. You are promoting your own bad situation by doing that, because you let a woman run around feeling like she being disrespected for a whole bunch of years. When she finally get the courage to go against that teaching, I don't see how you're gonna live a good life. You're gonna have to. That a lot of that disrespect is gonna come back on you, in my opinion. In my opinion, Marcus. But you know, you can come up later and talk about it. All right, so let's see where we at now. I just want to tell you how to become a full stack developer. Research jobs, look for listings. So you're gonna research the jobs that you want to work in, and then you gotta, once you research these jobs, you gotta see what is the qualification that most of them have. What are they looking for in a person that's working as a full stack? You know, I remember I had one of my sons that was one of my sons was, well, all of my sons are very artistic, very talented artistically, but they just have been able to, whatever they think in their head, they can just draw it. And so one of my sons, I think my baby boy, used to carry all of these drawings with him. And I said, "Why you carrying all these drawings?" He said, "Because we might we might be out somewhere, and the head of Disney might walk in. We might meet up there with the head of Disney." And I said, "Son, let me tell you something. The likelihood of the head of Disney being in our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, at the park or at the at the store or something like that," I said, "that's not very high. I'm gonna tell you what you need to do, and you have a much better shot at showing your drawings to the head of Disney. Write to them and find out what." But you know what? He was so rebellious, he didn't do it. He just didn't do it. He was gonna prove to me that and he'd rather fail proving it to me that he was gonna fail than to listen to what I told him. I said, "Son, it's probably not likely that the head of Disney is gonna be running around Los Angeles, Compton Watts, trying to and then see you walking around with drawings and then say, 'Oh, by the way, let me stop you. Are those drawings in there? Let me.'" I said, "That's probably not going to happen, son. You got a better chance of writing them and asking them what they're looking for in an animator." But he wanted to prove it to me that he's going to do what he wanted to do. Okay. What can I say, man? Can't make nobody listen to me. Remember, Marcus said, remember, no one is forcing women to stay. She can settle for average or just get along and go along with it. Remember, people have to be accountable and people have rights and standards and limitations, Brother Clarence. Appreciate you, Brother Marcus, but let me tell you something, brother. As a person that's been in a long-term marriage, I can tell you that women do not, it's going to be difficult to they may stay for that mistreatment, because that's mistreatment, and they may stay because the lifestyle affords them to be able to live a certain kind of lifestyle, and they may be willing to set aside some of the disrespect they have to go through to live that lifestyle, right? However, once the rabbit got the gun, the situation might change, because you as a man, eventually your health is going to fail, right? Eventually, you're not going to live to 99 years old and be able to run 10 miles, and that's typically not what will happen, right? If you live to be in your 60s or 70s, especially black men, they really, saying they pushing it, getting past the 60s, getting into the 70s. Black men, life expectancy really drops off, right? And a woman might put up with this stuff for 10 years, maybe even 20. But when your health starts failing and she's still able to get around, like Sweet Daddy told JJ, you in trouble, man. I wouldn't want to even set that situation up. I wouldn't want to set that situation up. And just because let's say you got a young girl. So what do you think the young girl's gonna do when your health starts falling off and you've been mistreating her for 10 years? What do you think she's gonna do? You think she's gonna just say, "Well, you know what? I've been used to this the whole time, so I'm gonna just stick it in there"? Or do you think she's gonna be slamming the pool boy, the postman, the meter reader? She's gonna be slamming everybody coming along, right? When she gets the courage to fight your system, she'll probably stay. But now you're going to have to endure the disrespect. You're going to have to endure it. And then let's say you divorce her. Then what? You're just going to get another one in there, and she might probably even be worse. That's what we're going to talk about today in a minute, Marcus. Let's say Marcus said, how is mistreatment if a high-value man is honest from the get-go? It is option. Not a gun to the head. No, Marcus, what I'm saying is, if I tell you, hey, you know what, come to America, right? And it's optional for you, but hey, let me tell you something. You could die in the desert on the way. You could get kidnapped. You could get, ARPed. Your children could get snatched from you. You could be put in a cage. But if you decide, hey, it's worth it to do all of that stuff, to risk all of that, it's worth it. Hey, it's worth it. That doesn't mean that the ARPing is not mistreatment, right? That doesn't mean that the kidnapping is not mistreatment, right? That doesn't mean that being put in a cage is not mistreatment, Marcus. That's what I'm saying to you. Those things are independent of the fact that, those things are independent of the fact that you are coming to achieve a goal. And in the attempt of achieving the goal, there are some risks there's some things that may happen that are unpleasant, right? That doesn't mean that just because you say, oh, well, I'll sign up for it anyway. That doesn't mean that, then the ARPing that may occur is not mistreatment because you signed up to come over here, right? You starving out in the desert, that is not mistreatment because you signed up for this. Those things are independent of the fact that you signed up for that. Those things are independent, and that's all I'm saying, Marcus. All right, so let's get to it. Oh, I told you. Oh, wait. I still got to finish how to be a full stack developer. Research jobs, gain educational qualifications. Man, you got to qualify yourself. You cannot go out here saying, hey, they won't hire me because I'm black. No, not in the global market. The global market does not care that you're black, green, yellow, Latino, Asian, but they don't care. White, they don't care. They care about productivity. The global market does not care. And if you're in a space where your color matters, then you're in the wrong game. You need to get out of that game. You need to get into a game where your color don't matter, and that is the global market. You're gonna get paid more. You're gonna have much more success, less stress, and you'll be able to work out your own schedule. In a job where your color is gonna matter, like retail food and stuff like that, that's on you. If that's all you prepare for, then that's all you're gonna get. But so you got to qualify yourself. Now, Elijah Muhammad said, qualify yourself for every endeavor. Can't run around here talking about, they ain't hiring me because I'm black. They ain't hiring you because you ain't qualified. You're not the best qualified person. If you were the best qualified person, you ain't going to have the best qualified person. Man, listen, let me tell you something. The best looking models, they ain't got to be, they don't run around talking about, hey, they ain't hiring me because I'm, the best looking models, the people come to them. People come and offer them stuff. You're the most qualified. People come to you and they offer you stuff. You ain't got to worry about nobody having racism. Racism doesn't count. Racism is not an issue. It's only an issue to the uneducated. It's only an issue to the unprepared. If we prepared our children, third grade, pushing math and science on them hard, so when they hit the field, man, they can do anything. Look at the Asians, man. The Asians they used to have a show called McHale's Navy talking about Japanese people so bad. They had to pull it off the air, right? They had to pull it off the air because of how bad they talked about Japanese people. Look at the Japanese people now, man. Everybody's trying to get loans from Japanese banks. They're trying to work with the Japanese. Why? Because they're not They didn't wait around saying they're not hiring me because I'm Asian. They said, okay, you ain't gonna hire me. We'll make our own markets. We'll create our own institutions, which I'm sure they got it off of us, but they just didn't experience the brutality that we experienced that beat us into this individualism. Unfortunately. Anyway, let me see what Rorschach says about this stack development. Brother Rorschach says, as a stack developer, Android developer, I would say there's a lot of racism. Fortunately, STEM jobs tend to be better for black men than jobs. That's what I'm saying. But if you become, let me tell you something, Brother Rorschach. It might be some racism because there's racism everywhere. So I'm not saying there's no racism. What I'm saying is it won't be able to stop you because the productivity is more important than the racism in today's global market. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Not saying that there's no racism. Of course there's racism. But you won't be, nobody will be able to stop you and say, oh, well, you black, then I'm not going to use you. You think they can, the businesses today, they can't afford to let good qualified people walk out the door and go work for the competition, and then in the competition drive them into the ground. That's why Apple is trying to get Google's employees. Google is trying to get Apple's employees. Apple and Google trying to get Oracle's employees. Oracle's employees trying to get, Microsoft's employees. Everybody's trying to get the top employees of everybody. Okay. So let's get into it. Brother Rorschach says, I agree with you 100%. I know you in that field, Rorschach. I know you in that field, and you know you would have a better eye view of it than me. But I'm telling you, brother, at the global level, you got the best chance of controlling your life and the way you want it to go in the STEM field, qualifying yourself in the STEM field. If you're the best stack developer and you work for Microsoft and everybody knows that, please, everybody's going to be trying to get you. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your color is. Nobody's going to want to see you work for their competition and make their competition a billion-dollar company because they were so caught up with the racism that they didn't hire you. That, see, in today's global market, if you don't hire the right people, man, you're going to send your business into a spiraling down into a volcano. It's not going to work. You can't let racism stop you today. Racism is a liability in the global market today. Not saying it's not out there, but it's a liability. Definitely a liability. Brother Rorschach said, I've always pushed for black men to enter most the in-demand, high-paying, low-barrier entry jobs. That's what I do every Sunday, Rorschach. Thank you. One friend of mine asked me about IT certs, and I directed him to get a trucking license. Hey, man, do whatever you got to do. Trucking license, IT cert, whatever cert you got to do. Nurse, whatever. These are low-barrier things, man. You ain't got to study for maybe, 2 or 3 years to be a nurse. With a degree, you can get a BS in nursing. And you could be making $100,000 a year. Easy money. I won't say easy money, but definitely you could be making money without having to go to school for like a lawyer for 10 or 15 years. I mean, you don't have to do all that. Or a doctor. You know what I'm saying? You can go, a nurse take 3 years, 4 years tops. You can get your BS in nursing and away you go. You got the offers coming at you. Post that thing on Monster. These people are breaking your door down trying to get you to come over here. All right, y'all. So, like I said, improve your skills, prepare for interviews. It says 55% of the people that are full stack developers have bachelor's degrees, 6% have associate's degree, 5% have high school diplomas or GEDs, and 22% have master's degrees. Who else is telling y'all about how to get these jobs? Who else? We just trying to help you. We just trying to help y'all out here. We just trying to see y'all make it to the next level. That's all we want you to do, is see y'all make it to the next level. Tell our our people that we can do it. It ain't always got to be about, oh well, nah. You can do a lot of stuff, but we got to get the mentality in our heads that it's not always about being black. And if we want to do something for black people, we got to build together. Period. Just like the Asians do. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing against the ADOS community. I have nothing against the FBA community. I have nothing against that. But what I'm saying is, the Asians, they are strong because they don't let that. I'm from China. I'm from this part of China, and I'm from that part of Japan, and I'm from this part. So they don't let those things separate them. They understand. It don't matter where you from. You get seen just like I get seen. They looking at you the same way they're looking at me. Don't matter what dialect you speak. Don't matter what dialect I speak. The way they look at it, we're all the same. So let's work together. Let's work together, right? The Jews, they don't say, hey, I'm a Hasidic Jew, and I'm not a Hasidic Jew, and they say, hey, whenever they see us, they see a Jew. So let us work together. Let us work together to build our own networks so that we won't have to be enthralled with all this other bull stuff. But we as black people, for some reason, man, we keep finding different ways to separate each other from each other, right? Elijah Muhammad said, "Pool your resources," but we won't pool our resources, right? Everybody else will do it, but we won't do it because why? I'm an FBA, I'm ADOS, I'm this, I'm that, and nothing against those things. But what I'm saying is, we gotta, even if we do have those things, we gotta find a way to come together as a group and say, okay, we got all these billions of dollars, but we giving them away to everybody else. Perfect example is the Jim Jones situation. Jim Jones, remember, Jim Jones went into the Gucci store, and got mad because they wasn't kissing his ass in the Gucci store. Think about this. Think about this for just a minute. The man drops about $30,000 in Gucci, and he's mad because they didn't bring him no water. What if he took that $30,000, opened up his own store, and had a store and advertise it to black people and get black people off of trying to make, unfortunately for black people, then that's something that we have to get around. We got to figure out a way of getting around it, but we have low self-esteem as a group, right? So we got to have all this stuff with other people's names on it. We got to have this stuff with all these white people's names on it. Oh, I've got Gucci, I got Versace, I got this. So I'm somebody because I got a Versace robe on. I'm somebody because I got a Rolex. I'm somebody because I got a Mercedes in the driveway. I'm somebody because I got a Tesla. See, all these white people's names. I'm somebody. I was in a Gucci store. I'm somebody. Look at me. Look at me. Right? I was in the Gucci store. And you really look silly. You spending $20,000, $30,000 in a Gucci store to do what? Just so you could say you was in a Gucci store and drop that money? Foolish. But then, there's the same people that say, I want black people to have empowerment. I want black people. I'm with my people. Yeah. We are inside. I had a boss that would tell us to do stuff, and if we messed it up, he would say, "Boy, you guys are more mixed up than a dog's breakfast." Dogs, man, you just put anything in the pot. Same thing with pigs, man. Pigs, you can put anything out there, man. They got a little trough. You can throw old eggs, you could just throw all bad meat, everything, right, into a trough of pig, and pigs will eat it up. That's why you can't feed all the pigs all at the same time. You have to feed the big ones by themselves and the little ones by themselves. Because you feed the big ones, if you feed them all at the same time, the big ones will stop and stomp on their own young and then eat them. So you can't feed them all at the same time. My uncle had a farm back in the day, And so he said you got to feed them separate. You can't feed them all at the same time. But anyway, but you can just throw anyway. They call it slopping the hogs. People in the country, they know about slopping the hogs, where you just give them whatever, right? They're basically the garbage disposal on a farm, right? Ay, 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 ay. But what's the point? The point is, hey, we got to start looking at what we're going to do as far as getting ourselves back right. And one of the things we got to do is be qualified. We got to qualify ourselves. So how do we qualify ourselves? We have got to push third grade math and science to black boys. Third grade. That is it. That is it. If you really want this thing to change, but Clarence, it ain't gonna change because the women are still crazy. The women will not be crazy because just to be selected by productive men, they're going to have to change their game. See, right now, the feminist movement has said you don't need a productive man. You just need a man that has the life germ in it. And then you can just move on your way. Once you're done with him, you can push him out the way and go live your life, right? That's what the feminist movement has taught them. But if they finding out that it's not true. Children that's not raised with their fathers don't do as well. That's just statistically. They can't fight those statistics. They can say, oh, well, I can freeze my eggs and I can do that. You can say all that, but you can't fight the statistics that say children that are not raised with their father in the house don't do as well. Not saying they can't. Some of them come out good. But statistically, they don't do as well. That's the reality of that situation. Rorschach says Jim Jones deserved to be treated like this. Jim Jones had enough money to buy Gucci, but Gucci doesn't want gangsters in the store. His present cost Gucci more than the money he spent. Well, I say this, Rorschach, it's not about Gucci. It's not on Gucci. You're right. Gucci can do whatever they want to do. The point is that his self-esteem was so low that he felt like if he went in there and dropped $30,000 in the Gucci store for a bunch of stuff that he didn't need anyway, he would feel better. That's my point. That's my point. We as black people are caught up on a lot of stuff like that, and we need to figure out how to get around that. All right, so let's get to our topic of the day, y'all. What's our topic? Do we need love? Do we as men need love? Let's take a look at it. Do we need love? Now, first of all, what is love? What is love? If you ask 10 people what love is, you probably get at least 10 responses, 10 different responses, right? I think love is this. I think love is that. I think love is this. I think love is that, right? But what is love? What actually is love? And how can it help us in our journey? Remember me and Marcus were talking about, and my question is also, these high value men, are they going to die alone? Probably will die alone, right? Because the kind of women that they want to get after, that they want to be with, are probably not going to be. I will, Truth. Give me a minute. I'm going to drop it. The kind of women they probably want to be with are probably going to be the kind of women that are not going to be scrupulous, right? They're not going to have what they call scruples. They're not going to have virtue. A virtuous woman is probably a virtuous woman is probably not going to be the type of woman that's going to say, I will let you disrespect me and have affairs with me just so that I can drive this big car that you have. A virtuous woman probably ain't going to do that. In my opinion. I could be wrong. When I drop the link, you guys can come here and tell me. But I could be wrong, but I don't think Truth is Favor said, I don't think or feel I know what love is. Okay, I want you to come up here and tell me, Truth. Hold on. Give me a minute, though. So That's the thing. So how do you know if a woman really loves you? How do you know if a woman really loves you? But True said, love is unconditional, sacrificial, intentional, active choice. It is unconditional. It can get to be unconditional. It has to grow into unconditionalness, right? You don't just see somebody and love them unconditionally. That's not most people. I'm talking about somebody that you didn't birth or it's not blood related. You don't just unconditionally love them, right? We talking about romantic love here, True. So most people that love, that unconditional love has to grow with time, right? Certain things have to happen before you get to the point where you say, I love this person unconditionally. Because loving somebody unconditionally from the beginning, that's not good. That is not a good thing to do, in my opinion. In a relationship, in a romantic relationship, that is not something to do right away. You know, you can get to love them, and as you get to know them, the love you have for them grows into unconditional love. Yeah, that makes sense. But when we start saying, I love this person unconditionally from the jump, you're putting yourself in a position where you can be taken advantage. And I'm not saying you're doing that, True. I'm just saying that we as men typically do that sometimes. And we can put ourselves in a bad situation doing that because you're opening yourself to be able to be taken advantage of. But do we need love? Well, the high value guys say, no, you don't need it. All you need is money. All you need is money to make this thing go around. I disagree. You know, I think we want love, and we need love to really be the best of ourselves. We need love, but if we don't have it, we have to learn how to live without it. But I'm saying, if we really want to be the best version of ourselves, which is the best, how can you protect? How can you be the best protector when you have nothing to protect? How can you be the best provider when you have nobody to provide for? How can you be the best version of a man? Men are supposed to provide, protect, teach, even a little bit of nurturing. How can you teach when there's nobody there to teach? How can you grow into a good teacher when there's nobody there to teach? How can you grow into a good lover when there's no one there to love? Love is, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Love is unconditional. Love is blind. What do you mean love is blind? I mean, love, like my wife has some things that I wish she would fix. I'm still working on. I have some things that she probably would like fixed that she's working on. But when we get together, we don't see those things. It's only when we're not, when we're not, we got other things on our minds that our eyes get opened up to some bad habits that we might have, right? But when we get together and we all hugged up, we don't see those things. We don't see those things. Love is blind. We don't see those things, right? Love is sacrifice, right? Like True said, it's sacrifice. I always use this analogy. Is this my wife? See, in the black community, a lot of times you get called a simp for sacrificing and compromising. You get called a simp. You're supposed to drive this hard line, 365 days a year, 70 years. You're supposed to drive this hard line. That's not the reality of a marriage. I wouldn't even say that's the reality of the average long-term relationship. You cannot drive a hard line for that long and expect good results. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to sacrifice sometimes. I use this example. My wife may go to the store. She may buy a bunch of stuff to make a certain dish. And she'd call me and say, hey, what time are you coming through? I'm like, I'll come through at this XYZ time. She said, okay, can you stop by the store and get this? I was there earlier. I forgot this thing, and I need this item to fix the dish I'm trying to fix. Now I could be like, I could push a hard line and say, no, I'm not going to do that. You said you went there, and you know I don't want to go there. But A, am I going to have, is the dish going to be ready or ready that day, the same day? And B, am I creating a security risk by sending my wife back out in the middle of at nighttime? Just because I want to push this hard line. But I love her. I don't want to put her in. I would rather put myself in a situation where I had to deal with the outside elements than she have to deal with the outside elements, especially at nighttime. But that's love. You got to sacrifice sometimes. You got to sacrifice, right? You got to love is vulnerable. You're vulnerable. You open up yourself, man, and you're vulnerable. And you hope that by showing the other person your vulnerability, you will incite their tenderness to come back towards you. That's what you're looking for, right? You want to see how much they are, how much they care about you. So you have to show them a side of yourself that's vulnerable. Love is vulnerable. Once you put yourself out there, you put yourself out there. And now the other person can decide to handle you how they want to handle you. You can't get mad because you put yourself out there. Right? Love is willing to work hard. I remember I was working, man, and they offered me some overtime so I could do something extra for my family. I took them to Legoland. I took them to Disneyland. I worked the overtime so I could get the money to do it. Why? Because I wanted to go to Legoland. I didn't want to go to Legoland. I didn't want to go to San Diego Zoo. But I mean, you know, I needed some. I wanted to be able to have myself and be able to take my children down there, my family down there, and be in a hotel, not have to worry about the food, not have to worry about all that stuff. I had to write it all out and see how much it was going to cost me, see how much the ticket was going to cost me, see everything, how much of the, you know, estimate the food expenses, the gas, everything. But that's love. Are you willing to do all of that? And love is willing to wait. Right? You're willing to wait sometimes. You're willing to wait. Sister Annie says, loving unconditional love does not mean accepting unacceptable behavior. I was getting to that, Sister Annie, but thank you for bringing it up. I'll get to that right now. No, love does not accept, well, let me say it this way. Love does not mean you should accept unacceptable behavior, but love will accept unacceptable behavior because love is always thinking in a positive direction. This will work out at some point. I know this person is doing these crazy things, but at some point it's gonna be a you know, love is always thinking in the positive. At some point this is gonna work out. Right? This man is gonna realize that I love him and he's going to stop treating me like this. Or vice versa. Right? But the question is, do we need love? We want it, but do we need it? Do we need love? Do we need love? And I don't mean that love accepts a bad behavior. It doesn't accept bad. Well, it does accept bad behavior in some cases, but it's always looking for the things to turn around into a positive direction. Not because they want it to stay. They wanted the unacceptable behavior to stay that way. The love keeps that person thinking that maybe one day this will turn out right. Until one day they find out that it don't. Sister Annie say, I know I need love. Yeah. Men need love too, because I'm going to tell you why men need love. Men need love because For them to grow into the best version of themselves, which is a protector, which is a provider, which is a teacher, which is they have to have these people. They have to have people around them that need those things. If you don't have people around you that need those things, how then can you grow into a person that can do those things well? But I think in the Manosphere, because they don't teach vetting, they don't teach the proper vetting. They just say women are just bad, right? But because they are not looking for good women, because good women come with you have to have a certain level of discipline to be with a good woman. A good woman's not going to let you run around she's not going to let you be unacceptable. Not in most cases. And even if she lets you be unacceptable for a little while, eventually she's going to say, you know what? You want to live this way? Cool, go live that way. I don't want to live that way. Hasta mañana. Right? Let's bring you guys up. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do men need romantic love? Do they? Do they really need romantic love? What does a man need? Why does a man need to love women? I don't know. I don't think you guys. I want to see what you guys got to say. I want to see what you guys got to say. Here's the link. Want to see what you guys got to say. Men, in my opinion, they need love. But let's talk about it. The Manosphere is telling men they don't need it. They need money. Get your money up. Be with it, and be this guy that doesn't have anybody, doesn't have no romantic ties. Why? Because what's the reality of what they're saying? The reality of what they're saying is, I cannot pick a good woman. Therefore, the onlyest way to protect myself is to not pick women, period. That's what I see. Brother Truth.
Good afternoon, Brother Clarence. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Blessed, man. Truth, let me tell you something, brother. Blessed is probably the best way I could say it in the English language. I can't really put it in words. I would have to mentally connect with you for you to understand what I'm talking about, how good God is for me. But blessed is the best way I can say it in English, brother. How about yourself, man?
Likewise, and I totally understand. I was just sharing
Glad.
this with somebody the other day. Well, no, not the other day. I think all of us, it was yesterday. I was saying, in order to understand my relationship with God, you will actually have to experience it. His goodness is really beyond measure. It's not, you can't really quantum or fathom it in human capacity. So I understand. Like I always say, I'm blessed and highly favored. Uh,
Right on,
and
man. Right
that
on.
actually goes into this conversation that we're about to have. So,
all right, brother. Hold on 1 second, Truth. Let me shout out Miss She Said. Good to have you, Miss She Said, in the building. Glad to have you in the building. All right, Truth. Go ahead, man. What you got, man? Do men need romantic love, man? What's going on?
well, first we gotta go to the definition of love. Again, love is unconditional, sacrificial, intentional act of choice.
Okay.
Now, when we talking about romantic love, and this is where we get in trouble at because this is why people, get hurt. This is why people fail. This is why relationships fail because we don't understand actually what love is. We're not talking when we start talking about romance. That's what we read about in books, see on television. That Disneyland bull crap, bull job where we see the prince rescuing a woman in the tower and all that romance. No, men don't need romantic love. That's false love. That's what's
Okay.
called actual infatuation. That's love, that's desire, that's the emotion that consistently changes
Okay.
in and out daily. Emotions change. Love, and the reason why I say it's unconditional, because love is always going out. You're giving it to another. It is not selfish. It is always giving. It's passed through from God to man, and then God gives us the capacity to love one another. So that's what I meant by the unconditional thing. It's not something that creates a debt. Sacrificial, sacrifice. The greatest example of love that is known to man was when Jesus died on the cross and saved us all from our sins. And he even said, no greater love than this, that a man lay his life down for his friend. No greater love than that. And that is the example of sacrifice. Intentional, which means you are earnestly doing this. You're consistent. You are about this. This is something of importance. You making sure you put effort, and then you go to active, which means it's an action. It's not a ghost. It's not an illusion. It's not a feeling. It's a doing of who you are. It's something that you're expounding upon another. And then, of course, it's a choice. You're choosing to do this. It's a choice that you pass down from yourself to another person. And it's another person that says, okay, this is something that I'm going to do for you. It's not a feeling. A lot of times we equate this to what is called this crushing thing, this so-called butterflies, this giddiness. You know what I'm saying? That's why so many females, because of their emotions and they're easily triggered and think they're in love, but they're not. And that's where the term called falling in and out of love is, because of the emotion that comes with it is constantly changing. That's not love. God is love. God is consistent. God is eternal. God is forever. And love is forever that way too. So men, no. I don't no one needs romantic love. What we need is understanding. What we need is to learn what sacrifice and being selfless means to each other. Those that have long relationships of longevity, they don't even really abide in this romance thing. They're not really worried about Valentine's Day and those type of things. They're worried about building legacy. They're worried about understanding. They're worried about respect. They're worried about, hey, how can I give who I am to another individual and that be satisfactory for us to fill in our broken places and come together and build something beyond ourselves. That's what love is. We need to stop getting out of this Disneyland Mickey Mouse bullshit about this romantic and lustful and infatuation. Butterflies. That's not love.
Man. All right, truth. Miss, I want to address Miss. She said, Miss. She said, I wish. I mean, I know you probably might be busy, but if you could just come up on the stage, I would appreciate it, because I would like you to explain what you're saying, because I feel like men do need romantic love in a certain sense. Um, but I also agree with Truth that love has been kind of fantastically uh, uh, um, plagiarized, or not plagiarized, but it's been put out in a way that's not realistic to what love actually is. So love is not conditional. Is not unconditional. Miss C says that love is not unconditional. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. My son calling me from the hospital. Hold on, 1 second.
Uh, so again, and that's fair, Miss She said. I mean, that's in your opinion. That's how your mind quantifies what love is. And I will never go against somebody's POV, their preference, their POV, what their point of view is to a certain subject. Again, for me and those who understand, what love is, from a God mindset, is called agape. And that's the true essence of what love is. Everything else is byproducts. That so-called giving flowers, that's not love. That's an extension of showing that I care about an individual. That's why certain people, when they get married, soon as something happens to a person's leg, they get crippled, they get you know uh, they get crippled, they go on they get in wheelchairs and so on and so forth. They automatically leave. They run. You know why? Because that was never love. That was what is called conditional. That means, hey, as long as you don't break your back, I'm good with you. We're going to keep working it. As long as you don't lose your leg, you don't get sick, you don't do anything to jeopardize this bag as far as something that's out of your control, I'm going to keep riding with you. You get your arms fall off, your hands fall off, you get in the wheelchair, your thing don't work no more. I can't ride with you no more. I gotta jump this ship. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's condition. That's not love.
Okay. So, truth. This is what I want to ask you. Okay,
Yeah.
so I agree with you that is conditional. Now, do you think that you can meet somebody and just have it unconditional love right away, or do you think that takes time?
Uh, can you have unconditional love for someone? Yes, I believe you can, because again, it's a choice. It's a choice for you to do something. Again, it's not a things that grow that you're talking about. The growing part, that's a feeling. That's like I want to feel like I'm in love with you more. So we're going to do more things. We're going to make each other happy, which is a happening. Uh,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get this feeling like that we're in love. That's why a lot of people they leave because they saying, "Hold up, is this what it's supposed to be?" Like I don't feel it, and that's the problem. People wait for their feelings to go, and that's why a lot of people flee because the feelings aren't there and stuff like that. That is once I when I was younger, and again before I came to know Christ, I thought the same way. I thought love was just this emotional thing like that. But once I, met God and got to know Him for who He is and His presence and all His glory, and I got married myself, and I understood what actual sacrifice, loving another even when they're not at their best, even
Yeah.
when they are unlovable. You see what I'm saying? Even when they have totally disrespected you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Do you still love them then? No, I didn't have the feeling of love, but what I did was I chose to continue in love. That's when I finally realized, oh, if I want to continue to love this person, I can continue to love them. I can continue to, still act in the role of being a husband. I can continue to still move this way. I can still, you know, do my part, do my objective, and those type of things. Nothing changed because of who I am, and that's when I understood. It's called turn it down, brother. Landon, turn it down. That's when I understood what that actually was, and coming into what is called understanding. In my father's word, he said, "Where all thy getting, get understanding."
Right.
And this is why we perish because we truly lack knowledge of the things that we endure and we represent and we engage in. Until you understand what actual love is, I don't suggest people to get into relationships because it's going to inevitably fail. Because all it's going to do is say, hey, conditionally, as long as you do what you're doing and nothing changes, which that is a lie. The only constant in life is change.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
why we are so divided and divorce is so high because people do not know what love is, brother.
I agree. Agreed. Um, my thing is, okay. Now, do you think that men were meant? If okay, let me say it this way: if I'm supposed to be a protector and I'm supposed to be a provider, isn't the best way for me to learn how to do those things is to have people that I'm protecting and providing for?
That's actually a good question. Now, say that one more time so I can make sure I answer this properly. I heard you, but I want to make
Truth, don't beat me up on a Sunday.
no,
It's
no, no, no,
Sunday, Truth.
no. I'm not beating you up. I said that's a great question.
All right.
That's a
All right,
great
let me ask it
question.
again, brother.
Yeah, ask again so I can fully get a good understanding.
Okay. If I am supposed to be a protector and provider, if we go into Genesis, we see Adam is supposed to be a protector and provider, nurturer. He's nurturing the garden. He's protecting the garden. He's making sure that the weeds are gone. He's making sure that things are that's not supposed to be there are not there. He's making sure that things are running the way they're supposed to be. He's basically a caretaker, right? That's where the word husbandman comes from. A husbandman, a person that takes care of something, right?
Correct. Yep.
He is the person to do. But how can you do something how can you practice and learn how to get better at doing something like that when there's nobody there to do that with? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Now I do. So that's why I wanted you to repeat. Okay, so protection and provision comes with responsibility. So you just again, Adam had responsibility before the woman got there. He had to cultivate the land. He had to take care of the animals. You
Correct.
see what I'm saying? Those were the things that were there prior to. So he always was in. That was who he automatically was. I think actually, if you look at it, God created the responsibility before He created Adam. You see what I'm saying? So that already the purpose was laid forth before he even was created. That's
Okay.
why I tell people your purpose is who you are and what you was created for. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
add the land, the animals, Adam, all that was methodically put together like that. So you got the land, then you got animals, then you got Adam. So the responsibility was laid first. Then you had the person that was going to act out the responsibility created afterwards. So yes, he to make it put it all together. Yes, we need responsibility in order to protect and provide. We need that responsibility. We need the objective. We need the mission.
Okay. So now, if we didn't, if we shouldn't have that romantic person connected to us, why then would God provide that person for us? When we
Okay,
talk
good.
about Genesis.
Great answer. So God created a woman to be a helpmeet, not romantic love. And so He created a woman for us to be in the form of completion, to also find purpose in being a part of what it's like to be God, because we was made in His likeness. And in order to be able to be in His likeness, we have to have the ability to create. So the woman allows us to fulfill our godly qualities, our divine right to create. Where we lay seed, she brings forth. And just like when we plant seed in the ground, if the ground is good, if the womb is good, then it brings forth life. It brings forth a child or a tree or a plant. So that's her purpose. A woman's purpose is for a man to help him fulfill his destiny of being godlike, being divine, his divine right, being in the image of God, imago Dei.
Okay. So if the woman is here to help the man fulfill his destiny to be like God in a certain sense,
Mm-hmm.
um, then is it better for him to not have the woman in his? Because we have people now in the Manosphere community saying that women is better to not be with a woman, than be monks or incels or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm just asking this question, truth. You know me. So, so is it better? Is it is it is that going to be better? That's my question. Do you know because they're saying that, well, since there are no good women, the premise is that women are no good. The government is everything is geared toward them in the court system, and the government is all for them. Therefore, the situation is so stacked against men. It's better to just not have relationships and just at best have casual sex with women, and that's as far as you should go. And what's your take on that?
I think we align definitely in this, like anything else we align on, brother. Is that is one of the most dumbest things that I heard. And the thing is, I've only heard that on here. Nowhere have I ever heard a man. We're talking about a man. We're talking about a person that is secure, someone that has been healed and delivered from his traumas, his mental illnesses, if he has those, and his lack of intelligence, his lack of intellect, which means he has come to know who he is, found his purpose, know who he is. No man would say that in his right mind that he do not need nor want a woman because of the way society has created things. We know things are stacked against us. That's the thing. That's the thing about being a man. That's why we are who we are. We have the greatest weight on our shoulders, and that's why we shall share in the greatest glory. You see what I'm saying? That's why God prepared us to in His likeness, because we shall be able to bear the cross that is set before us daily, and that is to tackle the world that the enemy is constantly presenting and creating. Things is going to be stacked against us, especially if you're a person that dwells itself in righteousness and looks forward to doing the right thing, and wants to be a decent individual, wants to grow as a man, a father, a husband, and a friend to the world that he sees. You're going to have things stacked against you. That is not the woman's fault. The
Yeah.
thing is, our lack of responsibility and understanding of who we are, we have allowed the uncivilized world to fall even worse, to the point where the woman is now against us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And sad to say, that is our fault. And I mean men as a whole.
Yeah.
Because of certain things we have constructed where we have allowed the woman to come into a place where she no longer needs us. That is our fault. We created this. So now we are upset from what we created. And that's why things need to be left alone for how God created, because it will never fail nor cause division. All parties will be all parties will be sufficient. So no, that's it's not the woman's fault. That's why even though I've had problems, in relationships and situations, I will never say that it's a woman's fault or I don't need a woman. I know for a fact I need a woman to reach the apex of what I'm trying to accomplish. I cannot reach that, and it's a difference between success and completion. You can't be complete without a wife. You can't.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to, and it's especially hard to give advice out there on marriages, man, when you just keep crashing the car. Hold on, truth. Let me read this from Rorschach. Rorschach says, "Sensible red pill black men want relationships." Got it. Okay. The issue is that culture has made having a positive long-term relationship untenable. How so? How so, Rorschach? Come on up here and tell us. Most red pill black men do want relationships. I think like True said, most men do want relationships because
Men, men.
most men want relationships
Yeah.
with women because of of the of the femininity that's coming back at you. We as men, we are drawn and attracted to that femininity, and we
Oh
want it to come back,
yes. Oh
right? We
yeah.
want it to come back at us, so that's why we want, a natural woman with us, right? Okay. The problem is, man, that thing has become ambiguous. What is a woman? What is a woman supposed to be doing? What is she supposed to be? And that is, it's become a little bit ambiguous. But I see where you're coming from. But see, men have to learn how. We have to learn how to have long-term relationships with good women. See, we got to stop. See, unfortunately,
We
man.
gotta be men, brother. That's what it is. We're not men.
Okay, explain that. Explain that truth. Explain that.
Again, because if we are men, we understand our responsibility. And with the responsibility means maintaining and cultivating a good garden or relationship. That's what like how you said earlier, that's what the term husband means. It means cultivator. So men understand that they are the responsible ones. When if a relationship succeeds and fails, they get the large lump share of the success and the large lump share of the burden that comes with it if it's a failure.
Right.
And
Right.
because we're not, it's a lot of males out here, but there it's not a lot of men. That's why the relationships are sorely lacking. That's why the unification between man and women has become so divisive. Is because we no longer want that responsibility. We have became a lot more softer because a lot more guys are raised by mothers, and
Okay.
we don't want the responsibility of being a man. We don't have that accountability, which starts with self.
Okay.
You
I
see
got a
what I'm
question.
saying? Good.
I got a question for you, Truth. Hold on one second. Let me shout out Brother Sim. Good to have you in the building. Appreciate you. Sister Annie says, I will unconditionally love my future husband, showing up as a woman, wife God has instructed me to be.
That's
Shout out
right.
to you, Sister Annie.
That's
Shout
my
out to you.
right there. That's my sis.
We can say, hey, Truth, we can just close it down right there. That's
I
it
know.
right there, right? But I
See?
got a question for you, Truth.
Mhm.
So many men, if all of these men are not being shown how to be a man, because like you said, a lot of them, I think the latest statistic that was put out there, at least 75% of households in the black community are single parent households, right? And a lot of those are, and I would say upwards of 80% of those single parent households are probably headed by women. So a lot of these young men are not seeing how to respond and react as a man would respond and react to different situations. How are they going to learn how to be with a woman? How are they going to learn this information? What's going to happen here?
Well, that's why it's imperative for men such as yourself, Brother Clarence, myself, and
Right?
those like us that stand on truth, stand on righteousness, and stand on you know accepting and taking on the weight of being a man to show other men how to not whine and complain. Men don't make excuses; we make adjustments. We
That
keep
that,
moving forward.
that was excellent. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. The best men make adjustments. They don't make excuses. They make adjustments. I agree with that totally, totally. But how do we teach that truth? How are we going to get that across? Because, um, well, I would say what we're doing now is going to help in a little bit, right? There's probably one or two of those incel guys probably float through here, but on a mass scale, how do we get that being taught in the home again, where everybody's
Uh,
being taught this way?
well, Lord willing, we keep exemplifying these things, being the example, being the standard, and most importantly, pointing people to, the greatest husband, the greatest man that is known to existence, which is God, Jesus Christ. That's why I tell people I always point people to God through Jesus Christ because that's what helped me grasp everything that I have learned, internalize, be able to sift through the wheat, take the stuff that is needed and the garbage that also that I was learned, and put that in the trash. It basically brings everything to I mean, well, understanding is learning how to use all your gifts and your weapons. And you have a son, you have sons,
Hmm.
and I believe that you are exemplifying to them what it means to be a man. And those of us, got to continue to do that for our sons, our nephews. Um, Also, being a part of the community as much as you can. Whether it's you go on the basketball court and you see a little young boy shooting around and everything, and you say, hey, you know what? Uh, try to come up here after school around 5 o'clock. Just have a conversation with him and be connect with him. See how his day was on. You did your homework, and see if you see him passionate about basketball, as much to keep him from being in the neighborhood and being around things like that. Make some time for him.
Hey,
Get to
brother.
know him and things like that. It's been several kids out here that they playing for a basketball team, and I will actually go to the school and watch them. And then later on, they be like, "Hey, hey, hey, I seen you at the basketball court. I remember. I didn't think you was gonna come up here. Yeah, I gave you my word. I was gonna come check you out. You did a good job. Hey, can I offer you a couple pointers or whatever?" And then also, then I start to get ingratiate with his parents and everything like that, and see what their own look is about life and things of that sort. Just be available and give effort. Man. That's all. That's all. It's
I think you're right, brother. I think just all of us as men, just trying to make sure we just be solid cats. Even when they say, I'm gonna tell you this story, true. So I still work for them, but I make work for a major organization, right? And so a lot of times I had to go out to the field and check a lot of electrical equipment all over the city of Los Angeles, man. I mean, I would go to places where just the front of the property is $10 million, man. Out here in Pacific Palisades, I mean, every house you can literally see the ocean, and I mean, it's beautiful, right? The flip side of that is I would have to go down to the projects and see people living in really horrible conditions, right? I would go to some places sometimes, man. I could tell these little kids hadn't seen a man in months, maybe even a year or two. They looked at me like I was like I got a clown suit on, man. They just be following me around because they hadn't seen they had not seen masculinity in the flesh in so long. They were just like they were like taken back by me and the way I was behaving. Hey, little man, how you doing? You know what I mean? How you just talk to them. Hey, little man, how you doing? You know what I mean? I'm talking to them while I'm working. Hey, and because they hadn't seen, they were so drawn to me, brother. Especially the young men. Well, I'm talking about 6, 7 years old. They were so drawn to me because they hadn't seen no masculinity. It's such a dry spell of masculinity out there. That's why I say you're right. Anytime you can be a reflection of God's humanity and masculinity, but not in an aggressive way, but in a way of a nurturing and a growing way, and just a reflection, so they can see it and they can say, "Man, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I want to be that masculine, or that is what I'm shooting for." Because once they see it, then it will attract them. It's going to attract young men. Masculinity attracts men because they want to say, "Oh man, I want to. That's what I want to be." Right?
mm-hmm.
So we have to be that, man. You right. We have to be that. But I got somebody got a question for you, Truth. So you might have to straighten
Yes.
this one out, brother. Miss She says Jesus was never a husband. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. So when she's asking that, I know that she's speaking from a worldly mindset. And in other words, the idea of husband, we think about a man that writes on a paper and is now betrothed through the government, that is a husband to a wife. So that's a worldly mind. That's when you think Jesus was a husband spiritually because of what he represents, who he was. God is our husband because in the word it also says we are the church, those of him who are his people, his children. We are the church, and we shall be married to him in the coming day, which is when we go home to heaven. It always speaks about in parables of a wedding. He is the husbandman, we are the bridegroom. That's how it's referred to. So in the
Also,
spiritual essence of being a husband, that's what he is. That's who he is. Everything, all the roles, all the characteristics of what a husband is supposed to entail, he exemplifies that at the pinnacle.
and also, he said he was married to the church.
Yep.
So, so, I think Miss C said is specifically talking about being married to a woman, but a husband, like you said, the definition is a caretaker, actually. Okay, so uh, they coming for you, truth. I got a couple of okay. Brother Sim says I think uncles and male friends got to stop being quiet and give some input on how women around them are raising their children. Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
yeah.
yeah, I just said that. We gotta stop allowing, we gotta take control over what it means to be a man, accept the responsibility, and put our foot down and let women know. Like I constantly am, and females in this space don't like it, but I always tell them, know who you're speaking to and learn your place. Because I have fully accepted the responsibility of what it means to be a man. And I have taken my seat as a man. And I understand my purpose.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. All right, brother Sim. There you go. That's your answer for that. Brother Rorschach says, "Truth is never favored" is way off. Way off. That man leads alpha your way through it is not a strategy for anything. If the women of your community choose to go feminist, they can circumvent your will easily.
Yeah.
Okay,
You,
wait a minute. I got another. I want you to answer this, but I'm gonna give you the other thing he put out here too.
okay.
Okay, so case in point, look at white men. White men are falling precipitously, reproduction, education, wealth, the quality of life, etc., because their feminist women chose to destroy. Can't alpha through it. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm gonna let
But,
Truth answer that. Truth.
yeah. Well, first and foremost, my brother, I'm an actual man that's out here in the world. I wasn't a person that's glued to books and television and computers, such as yourself. Because I don't use the words alpha and all that bull crap. See what I'm saying? All I know what it is just to be a man. I don't use a red pill and all this garbage that I never heard in the streets. Some daggone way, man. You
Man,
see what I'm
red pill,
saying?
blue pill, green pill,
Yeah,
purple pill,
all
black
this
pill, all
bull
that.
crap, man. I don't use them talking points, man. You feel what I'm saying? I'm too cute for that. It's about being a
Okay,
man.
so
Simple as that.
truth, because
Yeah.
it's kind of convoluted the way he put this together. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
I'm
to.
answering. That's what I'm doing. I'm answering. What's the name?
Oh,
So
okay,
you
okay,
go
okay,
back to the first part. If
okay.
you go back to the first part, it says man lead alpha your way through. I don't know what the hell a alpha your way through. Whatever men lead. Okay, men leads. If you don't understand what men leading, then again, you as an individual probably still need to learn what it means to be a man, and you probably need to understand your purpose. Uh, I don't know how old you are, but you sound young, and
I
you
think he said
said,
it's
yeah, yeah. So you sound young, and you sound like you got a lot of maturing to do, partner. If the women of your community choose to go feminist, they can circumvent your will easily. Well, no one can. That's why it's called will. So no one can circumvent something that you don't relinquish. And I hope that didn't go over your head too much. So, in order for my will to be circumvent, I have to relinquish my own ideology and how I move. And see, this is what you got to understand. Men, we don't move based off of other people's responses. Leaders don't move off of other people's responses. We just lead. We men are men. We move how we move. It's not based off of the follower. That's how we move. It is what it is. That's our purpose. How I move, how I think, how I speak, how I conduct myself. It's not based off other people's responses. It's not based off of other people's ideologies. It's not based off of other people's thought process of me. You see what I'm saying? I do not think, nor move, nor act, nor respond off of other people. That's people pleasing attention seekers. Maybe you probably are like how you said, your will is easily circumvented based off other people's perceptions and how they want you to move. That's because basically you're in a prison, bro. You're in a
Well,
prison.
let me throw this out there. Truth. Brother Sim says, I think he means you can't lead somebody who's not trying to accept your leadership.
That's
Could be the
yeah,
issue.
and that's well, I'm gonna say the word "duh." Nor should anybody with common sense try to lead somebody that doesn't want to lead, want to be led, or they don't want to try to abide by that vision. I don't go around looking for somebody to follow me. Usually, I tell people don't watch me, watch TV. Don't listen to me, follow Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? But when you're just automatically placed in a leadership role by default because that's just who you are, it automatically you automatically going to galvanize people to who you are. If you have charisma, bravado, you have the gift of gab, you can articulate yourself. If you are what I consider authentic, thorough man. You see what I'm saying, bro? I never had a problem getting women. You see what I'm saying? And nor do I have a problem with people not following me. I have found more weight of people following me because when you're a leader, you have the responsibility that if your followers do something wrong and they're following you, you got to take on that responsibility. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm very careful about who's following me. Or they saying, hey, Truth said da da da, and that's what I'm doing. No, the hell no. No, you ain't do that because of me. Mm-mm. I don't want that problems. No, you ain't do none of that.
All right, man. Rorschach says, I'm very alike. I'm Ivy League education, well, six figures, well, work multiple jobs, and I am young and dumb. Laugh out loud.
You see what he said?
Yeah.
I'm an Ivy League education, well over into six figures.
Yep.
Yeah, you listen, bro. You still young because men don't even talk like that. They don't. In other words, you shouldn't have to explain yourself. I didn't ask you to explain yourself. You feel what I'm saying? You're supposed to be comfortable in knowing who you are. You're supposed to be secure enough to say, hey, who I am, I'm satisfied with that. And that's why I said, you said Ivy League education. That's what I'm saying. You're educated. You read a lot of books. You watch a lot of TV. You're on the computer a lot. But again, you have a lot of experience. There's things I have experienced and endured in this world that you have not. There's things I have seen and done in this world that you have not. And nor should I ask you. And a lot of stuff that I have done, I don't want you to do, tell you the truth. But it came with certain experiences and certain lessons that came with it. You feel what I'm saying? So I actually am glad, and hopefully you don't do the things that I've done. But as far as all the other things, books can't teach you how to really be a man, bro.
Yeah.
Being a man comes through experience.
Yeah.
It comes through an example. That's why it's imperative for boys to have a father in their life.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. We're talking about do men need romantic love, and we trying to. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because the next question I'm going to ask, which is, well, let me stay with this right now because I don't want to get that. That's the end question. But if men need romantic love, and I feel like we want it, and we needed to grow because, like you said, there's some things that you have to be involved romantically to learn. There's some things you have to be in romantic relationships to learn. You don't just like you said, Truth. You just can't learn how to hold a woman and make her feel secure out of a book. You can read 10,000 different books, and that's something you're gonna have to do it to learn how to do it properly, right? Oh wait, hold on. Rushek said, "You called me out for being young and naive and sheltered. I have plenty of experience. I have not had a lot of wacky experiences, but I have been very effective." Okay, so I guess he felt like you called him out when you said a few things that was calling him out. But I agree with Truth on this one.
You see how I constantly explain? This is, bro. You prove my point. You see how you keep explaining yourself? You don't have to explain yourself. If you're secure in who you are, then you're okay.
Let me explain.
That's why I said you have a lot more maturation, bro.
Let me explain to you the truth.
You're showing it right now. Like,
let me explain to him. Okay, so Rorschach, just because somebody say something, brother, and you felt it was a shot, don't even sweat. What he's saying is, you don't have to sweat it. You know what I'm saying? If you secure in what you say, where you are, you don't have to. You don't have to take it as a shot. You don't have to say, well, I'm gonna shoot back. You don't have. You don't have to. Well, you can. I mean, you can, but I'm just saying you really don't have to. Shout out to brother Daryl. Shout out to you. So one last thing from Brother Rorschach. Going to the unnecessary hardship many black men go through is not a badge of honor. All due respect. No, I don't think he was saying that. What he's saying is that some things, like I just was describing, you want to really know how to hold a woman and make her feel secure in your arms.
You don't get it, man. It went over his head. That's what I'm saying. All the responses that you're giving shows your immaturity, bro. Okay. Listen. Going to the unnecessary hardships of many black men go through, and it's not a badge of honor. Do you even know what I was talking about when I experiences? No, probably not. It's things. See, the stuff that when hardships and when things are uncomfortable, you feel what I'm saying? Pressure either bust pipes or make diamonds. You feel what I'm saying? So hardships that befalling a lot of people. That's why you see most of the greatest people, they have overcame such hardships, and that's why they are put in a position that they're in. Because it depending on what type of person you are, it means if you can rise to the heights, you'll be a diamond.
Brother, and I'm gonna tell you, man.
If you're not a man, then that pipe is going to bust and you're going forward. It's just simple as that.
This brother Rorschach, man, trust me, in 10 years, he'll be singing a whole other tune, brother. This is a good brother. So he
I don't think. Listen, the thing is, I don't know him to like or dislike him. So it's not. It's a lot of people, and this is what I'm saying. We got to get out of our emotions. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying is what it is. A lot of people like to get in verbal fisticuffs and everything like that from someone saying certain things. They want to say, "Oh, well, let me come up here to say something to this person to have a conversation." I'm not worried about what other people say. You see what I'm saying? What I say is going to be my own ideologies. You feel what I'm saying? If you can use it, then use it. If you can't, then don't use it. You feel what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. Like, I don't come up here to, to tell Brother Clarence that I'm gonna say 100, probably like 99% of the time I agree with him. That's probably why. But majority of the time I don't come up here. I just ask him to explain it a different way so other people who don't understand what he's talking about, like I might understand it, but other people don't understand it. They'll understand it in totality. Right. But yeah, you just got a lot of maturation, bro, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like, people that were older than me and something, even people that were younger, that was just in a more mature state, have told me that I needed to mature. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about age. You feel what I'm saying? My brothers are younger than me. But see, they understood where I fell short, and they circumvented me and went to another level. And you see what I'm saying? And they didn't have to endure the hardships that I went through. But they did. That's because they were smarter. But they still understood the hardships because they were there. They seen it. They seen the things I went through. And so the wisdom of saying, okay, I don't want to endure that, to learn from it. They didn't have to mess up to learn. They still got the lesson behind it. But what I'm saying from you is, I understand you. A lot of your experiences come from, probably being on the computer, probably reading a lot of books and things like that. These conversations that everyone's having about sex and women and all these type of relationships and cheating and having children. All these conversations, they have not befallen upon you. I'm pretty sure you did not have that much sex. I'm pretty sure you don't have no children. Pretty sure you have not been married nor proposed to. I'm pretty sure you probably didn't have no women chasing you down. I'm pretty sure you haven't been locked up. I'm pretty sure you haven't been in, tons of fights. I'm pretty sure you haven't, slept with a plethora of women. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know that truth. You don't know that truth. He might be slaying them like a dragon, man.
You don't know. You don't know. See, when you are an individual that has, just like I was the first one that called Fresh and Fit out. Before they came and told everybody, we ain't these type of guys. We were these goofballs that was in school and everything like that. I said this about them probably 2.5 years ago, because you can always tell the ones that were not the people that was in school, bro. They wasn't the people in school. They wasn't the people outside. They wasn't the people out in the jobs. They wasn't. It's a certain type of interaction, bravado, chemistry, things that you give off that shows the experiences that you had with person-to-person interactions. It's not that hard to see. That's why the Manosphere was put together, because majority of them are basically like Rorschach. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it is.
All right, let me get to Sister Annie. Sister Annie says, I believe it's good to gravitate to leadership that aligns with where you want to be. Now, Sister Annie, you talking about that as a woman, right? That means if I'm a man and I'm going where you want to go as a woman, then it's okay for you to align or gravitate to that leadership. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, right? All right. We as men, we got to figure out a way to be able to select candidates that are best for our leadership type, or the way we lead, right? Because if we pick people that are not good for that type of leadership, then we have people that have issues, right? We have people in our camp that have issues. Let me see. Rorschach says, typical black man reasoning, because I'm not broke, uneducated, etc., then I am Steve Urkel. This is kind of goofy-ish that black men sitting in the gutter. Rorschach, relax. I mean, truth is just a direct guide.
Let them be emotional. Let them be emotional. It's okay.
All right. Brother Sim says, reading each letter in the alphabet soup. Holy smokes. And Sim, you stirring the pot, brother. I thought about you, Sim.
Yeah, and he's Sim is the instigator.
yeah, Sim.
My fault, Rorschach. You are a behemoth when it comes to the women.
There you go, Truth.
My fault.
Right.
I got you. There we go. So it shouldn't be nothing else to say. You slept with over 300 to 500 plus women. You done had threesomes, foursomes, all type. You done did the most filthiest stuff you think about that can come to the man in the bed. You got it. There you go. You got it. You the one.
All right. So now that we got that, let me ask you another question.
That should be sufficient right there. You the man.
That should be. Truth. When all is said and done, a lot of these high value men are by themselves, i.e. Kevin Samuels. Meaning when I say by themselves, I mean they have access to women. It's not that the access to women is not their issue. Their issue is having women that's worthy of relationships with them, where they feel that the woman is worthy of a relationship with them. That's their issue. So they're holding out and holding out and holding out for these women, and a lot of them think, I'm just going to go young and young and young and young and young and young and younger, and they don't understand the problems of dealing with younger women as an older guy, right? When you're a younger guy and you're dealing with a younger woman, it's much easier. You got more energy to deal with all of the games that's going to get played. A lot of times, well, because a lot of young women, they're still growing and learning, and sometimes they play games along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a lot of these high value men are not selecting, because the men have to really do the selecting, and the women have to be okay with being selected by this person. But a lot of these high value men are not selecting; they're just having casual sex. Now, as they get to a certain point and they're having casual sex, at a certain point, a certain type of woman that they may be saying, I want this type of woman in my life, they may get to a point where they're so far age-wise
What's wrong?
that the woman, those type of women are probably going to be more interested in younger guys, right? Does that mean that these high value men are going to die alone as well? I said do alone.
I know what you meant. And to answer that, yes.
Now explain it, True. Explain it.
Because again, we got to stop thinking it's only females that's in these nursing homes. I volunteered for nursing homes. You see what I'm saying?
And I've been there too.
And I see a lot of men with a lot of money. I've sat in there, had conversations, war heroes, people that were top CEOs and everything like that. They showed me pictures of them sitting with the president and mayors and all that type of stuff, Congress. Like, these are very successful people and they're men. So these were high value, so-called high value. I can't getting on my nerves with these daggone titles, but so-called high value. These were those type of dudes. You see what I'm saying? And they're there. They're there having people change their diapers and having them watch them and take care of them. And they're lying. Some of them even go to hospice. So they are as well dying alone. This is not a situation of absolution. You feel what I'm saying?
Sir.
It is like, this is what I'm saying. We create these things and we talk like females are so doomed in a situation like they're just not going to get no play. The number one thing that they will have that every guy wants is the thing between their legs. So even the ugliest women get play. So it does, no matter, as long as they have that, they will always have a leading advantage over dudes. You see what I'm saying? And if they're not getting married, then the guys are not getting married either. And this is also the certain thing. If you go, I want people to actually go to the so-called Manosphere, right? Actually look at the guys. Look at them. Look at them. Listen to how they speak. This is how they talk. All these type of things.
Not a pack of winners. Not a pack of winners. Exactly.
See, what happens is people come into large sums of money, and especially it's a term called new money. Like, people that have money and had money, this is what we call them. And when people come into money, because the age is growing, technology is growing, a lot of people are getting these office jobs or these computer jobs and stuff and coming into high income early. They're thinking, once I get that, then that is supposed to be the master key for a woman. And it's not. Women are more emotionally connected than anything. You see what I'm saying? You have to connect with them on another level. And a woman is always going to want what is called the apex predator. That's innately in them. They want a man that is going to protect them. protection and provision. You got to have both. You feel what I'm saying? You got to have both. And a lot of these guys are high in, I guess you want to call the provision. We're gonna talk about the financial part of the provision, because provision is much more than financial. So the financial part of the provision, they got that down pat. Like you see how old boy said, I am a 6-figure earner. You see what I'm saying? And for some reason, that they think that's the key. Now, what that can be a key is to a lot of superficial women. You see what I'm saying? Ones that, want a certain lifestyle and they're willing to do anything, even be with basically a lame, just to have a certain type of lifestyle. So she can drive a Benz and things like that. It's basically a nice way to say she's a house 304. That's basically what she is. She's there. She's not there for him. She doesn't love him. She's there for the convenience of the money. You can clearly see, you'll look at a woman and be like, yo, she not with Doug because she care about that man. We can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. You see what I'm saying? So yes, the high value men, unless they want to be used, they will die alone. And those who are, a certain type of man in general, and they got all aspects, they can provide and protect. They got bravado and charisma. They can walk up in any room and cast a shadow over top of it. You feel what I'm saying? That's the type of man that a woman's going to go after, and that's why so many women going after the guys on the street, and that's why they're getting pregnant by them, because they're always going to want that type of guy. Now, if you can be the unicorn, where, hey, you got money, you're highly intellectual, you look good, you see what I'm saying, and you're a person that has high character, great integrity, takes care of responsibility, a man amongst men, a leader, then they got him made. Sad to say, it ain't a lot of men out here like that.
No.
You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it takes time to get to that type of level. But you want a man, money comes and goes. You want a man that has high character, and then also you want a man that's a leader. Agreed. Because he's going to always be able to look, 3 and 5 steps ahead.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And you want a person that women should want a man that can protect them from themselves.
Who? Agreed. But that's a hard sell, truth. But
yeah.
Agreed.
You feel what I'm saying? And see, that right there went over a lot of people's head. People don't understand that. And a lot of dudes don't understand that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes a certain type of man, and that's why, proud to say I'm one of them. You feel me? You feel me?
I see you, brother.
You smell me.
But I want to ask you, man, because the reason why I like asking you questions, man, because you're very you remind me of myself, man. You try to make it as clear as possible. All right, so Truth, if why are they selling this high value man situation and not telling them on the back end what is the possible, one of the major possible situations that may happen? Why are they selling this situation like, hey, the sun is going to always be out, right? They're not preparing them for the rain is going to come, right? Health challenges are going to come. And if you're there by yourself, who is going to wipe your behind? Who is going to wheel you around that wheelchair? Who's going to do that? So I'm just trying to figure out why are they selling this situation? Why? Are they selling books and courses, or what are they doing? Why are they selling this Manosphere situation like, hey, it's no problem, just be out there slaying them all day, and eventually you're gonna ride off into the sunset. When in actuality, what's actually gonna happen is you complain about this government. They complain about the government through the court system so much, but when they die by themselves, guess who's gonna get most of that money? Especially if they don't have any children or they don't have a wife or anything, who's gonna get that money? They're gonna end up feeding the dragon that they're complaining about. So why are they doing this? Why are they not saying on the back end, hey, live your life now, but at a certain point, you should start looking for a good woman, because you're gonna want a good woman to be with you, because that's just how life is. Life is gonna throw you some challenges, and I don't care how tough you are, I don't care how much of a man's man you are, eventually you're gonna want some support somewhere. And why are they making it so life like, oh, I don't need no support, I got money, so I don't need support?
Oh, are you asking me that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I see you going after Rorschach, but listen to me, Truth. Listen to me.
No, I'm not going after him. I told him if I offended him, I apologize.
Right on, man.
So if he doesn't like my opinion of things, then try just not to address me, because I'm always going to tell you how I think. So if you don't want my opinion, just don't address me. Didn't mean to offend you, bro. But that's the last time I'm going to speak on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, both of you guys are good dudes, so
yeah,
I knew you guys would work it out. Okay, so I asked the question. You want me to ask it again? True.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You want me to ask the question again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's my question. Why is the Manosphere selling this dream of a high value man, not telling these young guys on the other end that, okay, you can be a high value man, and you can have it, and being a high value man, because the selling point of being a high value man is the casual sex that will come, that it will open up doors for more casual sex. That is to me, that's the selling point of the high value man. You ain't a high value, because when we look at it, Truth, I don't see them saying you're a high value man, you're going to help other people, you're going to be a person of character, you're going to help the community, you're going to be a person that, I told you guys that story about when those little kids saw me when I would go into the projects and stuff, and Avalon Gardens and stuff, and people would see me. The little kids hadn't seen a man. They hadn't seen a man in months or years. I could tell by the way they were so attracted to the masculinity that I was displaying.
I can't play that. Did you play it on yours or mine?
Say what?
Yeah, no, I don't. You can't play that because I ain't played that yet.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you, Truth, because you're talking to somebody else. All right, so yeah. Anyway, so why are they telling these guys being a high value man, but not telling them on the other end, if you play this game too long, just like women, you're gonna die alone? Why are they not doing that?
Because they're in delusion in themselves, and if you listen to the guys again, a lot of them are, they're in your age bracket, Brother Clarence, and they're in delusion where you have, where I would consider you are very highly intelligent and way more smarter than them. You actually have a wife.
Same here.
You see what I'm saying? So they're coming together in this cult-like fashion for their shortcomings, their insecurities, and their traumas, and they're basically producing this wave that's saying, hey, it's all the females' fault and it's none of our fault. So since it's not our fault, we're going to come out on top.
What's the goal, Truth? What's the goal? Why not tell these dudes the total truth? Why tell them half the truth?
Well, they don't even know themselves, Brother Clarence. That's the thing.
Oh.
This is what's called a strong delusion. This is actually in their minds. It's not the talking points. it's not like they're concealing anything. The things that they're saying, they actually believe that.
Okay.
It's not a game. They actually believe that they're going to sustain, and females is going to die alone if the female doesn't have that type of man. If they don't have the so-called man that they are. And you see what I'm saying? And I keep trying to tell you, like, look, man, I've talked to, like, because I'm in constant conversations with women. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, no. I'm in constant conversations with women and things like that. And I even asked them, would they even date a man like Kevin Sanders? And they said, heck no. And they bust out laughing. They said, well, first of all, I don't care how much money he has. I might mess with him and try to get his bag. But as far as me living the rest of my life with an individual like that, and they're not talking about his talking points, they're talking about his whole demeanor, his cadence, his speech. He's not a masculine man, bro. You see what I'm saying? He's not a masculine man at all. Just because you yelling at women and you telling women such and such and this and that and the third, and you call yourself telling guys, asking guys, do you have a big thing and all that type of stuff and a whole bunch of stuff. That doesn't mean you're masculine. Masculinity, you don't have to say anything. A woman is going to sniff it. I'd rather be called, like, which I've probably been referred to as toxic masculinity, than have any. No women will ever say that I have any feminine properties. I have never been called that, ever. I'd rather be a person that is saying that I'm a hater of women, toxic masculinity, anything like that. As long as I know I'm all man, and as long as you know that, you feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And a lot of females, when they look at him, and sad to say, when I see him, I don't see masculinity. You see what I'm saying? I see a man that was like, and he even admitted this. If you go back to videos a couple of years, probably like 5 years ago, he even said it. He was raised by 3 women, his mother and his mother's sisters. So they clearly have a imprint and an impression on him. You can see it. You can see the way he holds his hands, how he sits, all types of stuff. It's just not. It's nothing of a man. Like it's not to say that he's not man, and I would never call him gay. I don't go that far, but he has a lot of feminine qualities.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with being hood or anything like that. I don't talk to you and see hood in you or whatever, but I don't see any femininity in you at all. You see what I'm saying? I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't hear it when you talk.
Yeah.
Like you don't move, like you don't even move like it because it's just not there. You feel what I'm saying? And it's okay to call a spade, and that's the problem with certain people. We tend to like somebody so much that we don't want to call them what we see. And see, that's one thing I've never been. I never loved someone or liked them or been close to somebody that I can't tell them the truth about themselves. And I always tell people that if you want an enabler, you with the wrong cat. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not going to be an enabler. I'm going to tell you the truth all the time. I'm going to tell you like it is.
And you know what, Truth? Unfortunately, most people they want people that's going to lie to them. They don't want people that's going to tell them the truth, right? They want people that's going to lie to them and tell them you're okay. What you're doing is okay. You're the moves you making, the wrong moves you making, that's okay. It's going to work out for you, right? They don't want people that's going to tell you, hey man, what what did you say? That didn't make no sense to me. Can you re-explain that? Can you do that? Most of our people would take that as they would take offense to it, having what they say and being questioned. But if you really trying to be about, see, the thing that makes me, Rico, the thing that centers us is around the truth. And none of us don't. I don't care if you tell it. You don't care if I tell it. We don't care if Rico tell it. We don't care who's telling it. We gonna challenge the person to tell it, and that's what keeps it good. That's what you need, especially in relationships and business, because businesses are special kinds of relationships as well. When you in business with somebody, man, you need somebody to tell you the truth. This is the books. These are the real books here. You don't need somebody saying these are the fake books, and because they don't want you to get excited. No, you need to know what's really going on in the business. Just like you really need to know what's really going on in a relationship. You need to know these things. And in your friendships, you need to know what people feel about you. Because you may be put them in a position to try to, that you may need something and they may not come through for you. And then you say to yourself, you'll be all upset that the person didn't come through when they've been showing you the whole time that this is what they thought about you. And see, we need to be honest with each other and appreciate that honesty with each other. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. A guy like you that talks direct, I've been around guys like that. I'm the kind of guy that appreciates that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I appreciate that. But a lot of people don't. I see that a lot of people don't appreciate men like that because they feel like, oh, they're so strong. I can't, he's so strong. He might get me. So I don't even want to be on a panel with him. I don't even want to be on a track with him. Right?
Yep.
But I look at it the opposite way. I like that because it challenges me. It challenges me to be so stay like what you are, brother. Keep the way.
Because it works. Again, just because when he was talking about leadership and what if somebody doesn't follow? Well, that's not the individual for me. Everybody's not going to come along on my train.
Right.
But I have a lot of passengers on here right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it doesn't, like, real men and women, they don't mind my tone, the way I am, because first of all, like you said, they are used to being around individuals that are like that. They're used to being around. They either had a father that was like that, no bull crap, straight to the point, no nonsense. We're not going to have a whole bunch of conversations. It is what it is. This is how it is. Even if it's not comfortable, even if it's not tickling your ears, we're not going that route. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So, and that's how my grandfathers were. That's how my dad, for 7 years that I had him, that's how he was. So that's all I know how to be. You see what I'm saying? Even the men that I have came in contact with. You see what I'm saying? The ones that, my brothers that I have in my space. Again, I'm talking to you. I'm starting to get close to Rico. No nonsense, straight to the point individuals. Right. Going to tell me the truth. Hey, look, you don't like it, but I'm telling you like this. No, like, we was just on the panel yesterday when Rico was like, no, you know what? F that. That's bull crap.
Right.
So when he tell me that, I love it.
Yeah, me too.
That's men talk to me. Where other people will say, oh, see, you knocking down my opinion, my point or whatever. I don't get emotion like that. You see what I'm saying? Only time I get upset if I know you are straight out disrespecting me.
Right.
Like, we're not having a conversation and you're just talking a certain type of way. No, you came to say, this don't even have nothing to do with the conversation. You just here to say something because you just don't like me. Yeah. And now we have something different now. That's different. If we having a conversation, we're in disagreement or anything like that, and you coming strong, I'm used to that. So I love it. And if I'm out of whack, I want you to tell me like, yo, you need to get yourself together. Because I don't want to be in a certain I don't want to be lost for a long period of time. If I'm wrong, I want somebody to come tell me I'm wrong so I can get myself together.
Right. I mean, that's what a thinking person would want, right? That's what a sensible person would want to see. Hey, I'm wrong. Help me. Don't let me sit in this ditch. Help me get out of this ditch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's good. Yeah, and I'm 53. I'll be 54 in about 2 weeks. And Rico will cuss me out, man. Rico has literally cussed me out, man.
He's cussed me out too a whole bunch of times.
But, right? I mean, and Rico will cuss me out, bro. And then he'd be like, okay, so, and he just move on to the next subject. He just move on to the next subject like it never happened, right? I'd be laughing inside, man. I'd be like, damn, man. He remind me of my father, man. But you know what?
Same thing, knowledge and relationships, right? Best in the world. Same thing. I was over there getting into it with somebody. He come on, let me know, like, look, we ain't dealing with this shit.
Right.
Straight up. And I don't get mad. Like, again, I don't get mad at him. You see what I'm saying? Especially if he's telling the truth. He set a decorum. He set a standard for his panel, and he's saying above all, I'm not having that, and I don't care. And see, I don't get mad at him and go back and forth. I love it. If I'm out of place, yeah, correct me. I'm not perfect. Correct me. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get myself to go.
Yeah.
I'm used to being like, see, I never was a child that I didn't want discipline. Discipline is needed in all facets of life, especially if you're trying to get to a certain point and you're trying to grow. You're going to constantly be disciplined. You're going to constantly be corrected by other individuals, people that is younger than you. You know, like I said, I have younger people and they correct me.
Yeah. Well,
So
see, it all boils down to humility. Humility is the key to the door of growth. You cannot grow unless you're humble enough to take criticism, good and bad. Sometimes people will criticize you, and I used to tell my sons this: people will criticize you. Some of them are going to be with a good intent, and some of them without a good intent. The question you have to ask yourself is this person telling me the truth? That's the question. Are they telling me the truth? Because some of them could be telling you the truth, but their intent is bad, and because you see that their intent is bad, you're not going to listen to them,
bingo.
and that could be a problem for you.
Yes, sir.
So all you do is take what they're telling you, and regardless of whether they love you or care about you, or they don't, or their intent is good or their intent is not good, you just put it on the scale. You weigh it on the scale, regardless. Is this true? If it's not true, then okay, that don't throw away. But see, most people would do like what we're talking about right now, truth, where they just, because the person's intention is bad, they feel that the vibration is bad on the person actually telling them something. They will say, oh, well, they just throw away what they're saying, and that's not good. Should always take in whatever somebody say, not take it personally, but just take it in and weigh it and say, okay, is there any truth in this? Like you said, take the part that you can keep, the good part, and the rest throw out. But you gotta weigh it. You gotta weigh it out, because you never know what somebody's gonna say to you that could help you in the long run. It could help you. So you being humble is a good thing. That's God giving us a chance to be able to turn something around that might not be such a good thing.
Yes.
And that's a gift from God, the humility, if
That's
we accept it and refine it.
That's why I stick close to God and Jesus Christ, because Scripture says those that humble themselves shall be exalted, and those that exalt themselves shall be humbled.
Yes.
That's one thing I look forward to, being in submission to God. I look forward to being humble. I look forward to being put in a position where I need to learn. You see what I'm saying? And I look forward to being around great men. You feel what I'm saying? I look forward to learning. I look forward to picking up qualities and things that I need to add to my preparation, because I'm always looking forward to growing. Like, I haven't reached my apex.
No.
But I'm going in the right direction. And that's why I constantly come up here and have conversations from you, because, again, I told you, and I'm say it again, I'm constantly pulling things from you, constantly gleaning things from you, constantly learning from
you. We pull it from you too. You think it's just going one way? No, brother, we pull it from you too.
So it's like it's imperative for me to come over here, conversate with you, learn, talk to you, again, picking up different properties and everything like that. And that's what I'm trying to, like, when you was asking how do we help, you're doing what you're supposed to do. It's just, hopefully for them, they need to be able to discern and clearly see who you should be listening to and who you shouldn't be listening to. See, a lot of times we like to go to the most polarizing person, the most popular individual, the one that's got the whole world coming to them, instead of actually listening to the individual. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what.
I just want to be You know what, truth? I just want to be the little bus stop where people. I want to be that little gas station where people could come in and get a good. Like back in the day, man. You too young to remember this, man. Back in the day, brother, we used to have map. We had what they call Thomas guides and maps, right? Where you went somewhere and you hadn't been there before, you had to buy a book. It actually had a book that was maps of wherever area you was in, right? And you could go there. You could get food, drinks. You could get maps. You could get information to help you get to where you're trying to go. That's what I'm trying to do, brother. I know I'm not the place with all the water slide rides and everything. I'm not the Disneyland place, but I can help you get down where you're trying to go, right? So I give you some information to help you get where you're trying to go. If that's where you want to go, cool. If you want to go some other place, we got information to help you get there too, right? But I appreciate you, brother, coming up, man, because like I said, you always push me, and I never know what you're gonna say. I love that too. I never know what you're gonna say. You might agree with me, you might not. You might push back a little. You might push back a lot.
That I don't be able to agree, and that's why I constantly tell you, it's not that I'm not. This is one thing I notice about people, and it's not just you. It's just people in general. If somebody don't say something directly, or if they don't say it like, yeah, that's absolutely right, or something like that, they automatically think I'm in opposition of what they're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. True. Let me explain myself.
No, because that's what you said, disagree.
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you always disagree with me. What I'm saying is you may disagree.
No, not you.
I know that you might, just like Rico might. You're not in a position where you like, I did Clarence, but I don't dig him enough. If I really got something to say other than what he's saying, I'm gonna tell him. That's what I'm saying. Not so much. Maybe disagree was a bad word. Let me say, share your opinion. How about that?
Yeah. Because I don't like. It's nothing. It hasn't been on a show where I said, Clarence, you wrong. I have. That's what I'm saying. I have never said it. We're not in disagreement. I just said the way you're saying it.
Right.
Because I know you're not meaning it that way. See, we the audience. I'm the audience. The people in the chat, the audience, and things like that. So, if certain people come on and hear it a certain type of way, they're going to think you're actually taking it this route, but you really meant it a certain way. And because I know you're a man of integrity, I know they're going, well, you're not agreeing with that mess. You just explain it in totality. You explain it all variables and all sides for how people see it in all aspects, like the people that agree with you and the people that don't. So that's where I said, okay, like explain it this way so they'll know that, okay, this is where you stand at. Like for me, reason why some people like it and some people don't is nobody has any question about where I stand. You see what I'm saying? I make it directly known. Like, no, this is what I believe in. This is what this is. This is my ideologies. This is my method to my madness. Where sometimes we all get caught up in explaining things. Some people will say, okay, well, hold up. He's on my side. He said da. And I'm like, no, Brother Clarence didn't mean it that way. He meant it this way. He's just explaining it. He sees it from your point of view too.
Right.
He's including you instead of, sometimes, I would just exclude the individual's things so nobody will get confused about where I'm going at. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you, brother. I got you.
So it hasn't been one time. I don't even think it's been one time. Let me see. One time have I disagreed with you? Where I'm saying I'm in opposition of what you're saying. Now it has been when you said. Now this is something that I have a question. Okay, so when you said you're part of the NOI, right?
Yes, sir.
Which ideology supersede the other? Your household or the NOI?
Well, the NOI is going to supersede the household. And let me explain what I mean by that. I mean that the basis of right and wrong as being taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's going to be the basis of how I'm going to react to things. I'm going to try my best to react to things like that. Now, in the it will depend on the circumstance which will come first. Like if I've been at the mosque and I got a call, hey, somebody's sick or hurting, so I had to run home. I've been at home and I've gotten a call, hey, we got this situation. We need you to come out here and help us with this situation. So it depends on the circumstance. That's my honest answer. But overall, how my life changed is when I started trying to apply some of this information that I received from the NOI, and I started applying that in my life. It got a lot more stable. So I try to apply that as much as possible. I don't get it right all the time, but I try to apply it as much as possible because I've had the greatest success when I was able to get everybody on the same page. When I've been able to understand what something has been, because there's been times where the NOI was teaching something that I didn't understand what was going on. It took me a couple of years to actually get it. So I wasn't able to apply certain things, but I'm still growing and learning. But like I said, it would ultimately depend on the circumstance, which I would say, where I would go first. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that's what, and see, for me, I don't have like, for me, my relationship with God is part of my household situation. Right. I don't have like two separate things. Like they're one and the same there. It's only God's ideology, and that is my ideology. So that's the only that's why I said. Other than that, we don't disagree on nothing.
I'm pretty much the same way. What I thought you meant by truth is that if one pulled me one way or the other, like if one called me, like if I was at the mosque and my wife called me and said something to come, and would I leave the mosque to come there, even though I'm supposed to be at this meeting? I may, because of the circumstance. So that's what I meant. In my household, I'm like you, brother. I try to have it as centered around my belief system as much as possible. I try to get everybody to see the way I do things and try to follow that path. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You know that for yourself.
I'm glad you said that. I have a great question now based off what you said.
Okay.
I didn't cut you off. Excuse me. Okay, so if you had to be at the mosque, but your wife said come home, which one would you do first? Which one would you tell no to?
Okay, so I'm already at the mosque.
Huh?
I'm already at the mosque.
No, let's say you're in transit. You're driving, and okay. You're about to go to the mosque, but your wife says, "I don't want you to go to the mosque. I want you to come home."
Right. It would depend on the circumstance. Because we've had.
What if she just say, I want to be with you?
No, that's not gonna happen.
Okay. Now, and see, this is the difference from me, because in the word it says that we are supposed to lay our life down for our wives, and in doing so, that honors God. So it's the ministry, the church, the pastor, my job. None of that supersedes her. That's what we believe in.
Same here.
None of that supersedes. So if I'm on my way, and even if she just said, "Hey, I just want you to come home. I just want you to come home." For what? I just want you to come home. I don't want to be alone. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home, because that's one thing. Once you take, and I'm not talking about. We're not talking about a woman that's just doing it just because she believe you're a simp or you're going to pander. I'm talking about just for the simple fact of if she wants to be with her husband at that time. And I'm not saying that she does this all the time either. She just came out the blue and said, I want you to come home. You know, for what reason? I just want you to come home. So what I would do is I wouldn't go to church. I would go home to her.
Okay. Okay. So can I explain what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead. No, that was
Okay.
just yeah.
And I agree with you. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. But in my situation, I had some special circumstances. I was in charge of a lot of different things that it would be difficult to replace. I was a person that was very difficult to replace. So me not showing up on certain things had to be a really good reason. So if my wife, if she wouldn't say, "Hey, I'm hurting. I need you to rub my back or rub my," if it wasn't something like that, or I need help, I'm just not feeling good, can you come home and take care of the boys or something? If it wasn't something like that, no. If it was just her, because I was so, in my opinion, what I was doing was for her. I'm going to a men's meeting to learn how to be a better man for you. And if you take me away from that, then you're actually going to take me away from being a better man. That's the way I saw it. This is the way I saw it, true. I said, you're taking me away from learning how to be a better man for you, and you're actually shooting yourself in the foot just to plan it, because I thought like this. If it wasn't an absolute emergency, I've already explained to you, I got this time that I'm going to do this and this and that. You already know that, and you already understand that. So to play games with me just to see where my loyalties lie, that's what I felt. I felt like it's just to see where my loyalties lie. Now, what I would do, truth, is if I would try to get my work done early so I could come early, if it was just a thing where I just don't want to be sitting here by myself. I would try to get it done early so that maybe I could cut out early. But as far as her telling me, "Hey, I need you to come home right away," why? Just because I just want you to come home. I'm not that type of dude, and my wife knows that about me anyway. She knows that same thing about work. Remember, I don't know if you heard me in the beginning. It's like I would work a lot of overtime because I was trying to do things with my family, and my base pay. It was difficult to do a lot of this stuff on my base pay, but fortunately for me, it was a lot of overtime, so I could work this overtime. And I used to take my family to trips to San Diego Zoo and to parks and to like Legoland and stuff like that. So, but I had to do the overtime, so my wife didn't like that. But this is what I got to do this, because we promised the boys we was gonna take them. We was gonna do this, right? Disneyland or whatever, right? So these are the things that we had to do. These are the things that so she knows I'm the type of guy. If I could say I got to work, and then here's another thing, truth, she knows about me. Not like I'm no perfect dude. I'm not perfect or anything like that. But I don't give her different things to that when she sees me move, she's seeing a complete person move. So she don't have to worry about, well, is he out here chasing after these women? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but she knows that she is the person that I'm doing all this work for, her and my family. So she knows that. So she's not like, that's another issue that I'm not presenting. Like, I don't act weird, you know what I mean? Saying like, like dudes that are usually sleeping with different women, they usually act weird. You know what I'm saying? Like women are pattern watchers. They watch for patterns. And so they see their men involved in patterns, and then they see the pattern switch. Women are very acute to something like that, right? They're very aware of things like that, and so they start saying, well, "Why is this dude now all of a sudden wearing cologne? Why is he always getting his haircut? What's going on, right?" But the nation, I was always getting my haircut, always wearing a suit, so it wasn't that I wasn't acting weird or anything like that. It just I just was pushing for what I felt like was the best thing at the time for my family. I learned, man, sometimes when I first got there, I was hard driving, truth. I was like, I got to be here every day of the week. I had to learn. Hey, you got to cut back. You got to spend some time with your family. See, I had to learn that. I had to learn that all on my own. You know what I mean? So it took a lot for me to learn how to do it. Now it's coasting now, but back then, it's like I had a lot of different things I had to do to try to balance it all off, because that's what life is about, balancing. You know what I'm saying? Your wife wants you to commit, and sometimes they want to see, are you going to stand on your square? And they'll try to nudge you a little bit to see if you're going to move off your square. Do you really believe in this? Do you really believe this? Are you really with this program? Or can I just pull you off of it? And if they pull you off of it, then they lose respect for you. Even though they may not like the fact that you do these things, right? But if they can just pull you off, then they look at it like this. If I can pull you off, what happens when another woman comes your way? Can she just pull you off? So we got to just stand on our square. And I guess I gave you the long answer, but basically, yeah, it depended on the situation and the type of situation that was going on. I'm not the one that's going to be like, oh, I'm calling you just to see if you're going to come. Don't cry wolf with me, because I definitely won't come. But if you have a serious problem, I will come. So like I said, it depended on the circumstance. All right, Truth. Let's answer this: will high value men die alone situation, so we can wrap this situation.
I answered it. Remember, I said they will. Remember, I answered it earlier.
Okay, you did answer that. Okay, all right then, man. Let's move on to some final thoughts here, man, because we gonna shut it down, man. I think we had a great conversation today, man.
As always,
helped a lot of people, man. As always, helped a lot of people. Okay, brother Truth, we talked about men, high value men dying alone based on their own ideology. We talked about what else did we talk about?
I didn't get a chance to talk to you about the because I noticed you mentioned something about the Jim Jones thing.
Oh yeah, Jim Jones, the rapper, right?
Yeah. You was talking about how he was moving inside the Gucci store.
Yeah, I thought that was really unnecessary the way he was
behaving.
But
and that comes from people being entitled. People thinking more of themselves. Thinking that money's supposed to money's supposed to give you all access to everything.
Right.
And then he was trying to make it into a race thing, and it wasn't. A lot of people do not want to be around loud, obnoxious individuals.
Exactly, brother. Exactly.
Supposed to be around that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm glad that turns you on and that's your thing, but I know when I'm eating or I'm at a place, I don't want to hear nobody loud and out of control and all that type of stuff. I'm not for all that.
Yeah. And see, he's the type that would insult the staff there.
Yeah. He was insulting them. He was talking about them every time the guy came and all that type of stuff. He was disrespecting them.
But see, he has that mentality like, because I got money, you should, like the Cameron Samuels ideology. Because I got money, you should accept these insults.
Yep.
I'm putting money in I'm putting money in the till, so that means that you should supposed to accept these insults from me. And most people are like you and me, man. We ain't gonna we don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Money and status don't that like people think money and status like supposed to basically give you the keys to everything, like supposed to allow you to unlock everybody's personality, everybody's POV of you and everything like that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't move based off of other people's responses. So I never, if somebody don't adhere to me in the Gucci store or whatever, it's not going to bother me. If they ain't pouring me champagne, it's not going to bother me. Okay. It's not the end of the world.
Especially if you got money like that, just go to another store. Right? Why am I going to hang out at a store that's not treating me right? Right?
Entitlement, brother. And it's entitlement. I'm confident in myself, but I'm not arrogant. And I don't think of myself as so highly above everybody else that I'm supposed to just have people at my beck and call. I don't have a God complex like that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where a
Yeah,
lot of people that, once they reach a certain level, they think they supposed to just have.
yeah.
And it don't
But
work
see,
like
you know what happens, True? You know what happens? So many people, like you said, so many people, when you got money like that, so many people move out of your way when you come in. You can develop that. You
that.
can
Yep.
develop a complex like that, man, where you feel like, hey, you're way more important than you actually are.
Right.
And just because you got money in the bank doesn't make you an important person.
Right.
It doesn't mean you're important.
And that's
It
what
doesn't.
Will Smith was saying and T.I. saying, I'm rich, I got money, but I'm still a man. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We are keep putting them on such a high level that we forgetting that they just men and women too. They just men and women with a lot of paper that we print.
Yeah,
That's how you can simplify it right there. The paper
yeah.
that the U.S. Mint prints, they just have a lot of that. That's all.
I say this all the time, man. I say this a lot, rather, not all the time, but a lot. That a woman is worth twice her weight in gold. A good woman is worth twice her weight in gold. A good man is worth 100 times his weight in gold. 100 times his weight in gold. Because a good man, man, is so hard to find, man. And when I say good, I mean not perfect. Perfect is another word. Perfect means you don't make no mistakes. When I say good, I mean their heart is good. They want to do good. They want to do good. They really want good to happen for themselves and other people, right? That's what I mean. Okay, that type of man is worth 100 times his weight in gold because if he gets his program running right, he's gonna help a lot of people. He's gonna help a lot of people get on. His wife, his family, his everything. He's gonna help. I heard Shaq the other day was saying, well, yesterday on the live stream, he was saying how he had bought his mom a house. He bought his mom a mansion bought his mom a mansion, and took care of her and, basically retired her. Retired his dad, retired these people, man. You know what I mean? Why? Because he, in his heart, he said that he went to school one day. He was feeling himself because they writing all these Sports Illustrated articles about him, and he was feeling himself. He said the whole school didn't talk to him for like a week, right? He said he finally, and then one of his friends finally told him, said, "Man, you think you all that? That's why ain't nobody talking to you." When he would go sit down at the lunch benches, everybody would leave. When he would go try to talk to people, everybody would leave. And they showed him, man. They said, "You think you the man, but you ain't the man, man. You just here, you just Shaq. You just regular Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I mean? So just be yourself." He said he learned from that experience in high school. Just be yourself. Don't get all caught up in I'm this big person. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? But we got to learn that. Unfortunately, we got to learn that because we want to be important truth so bad that we willing to do things like that, man. We willing to show how
You know
much
what that is, brother? That's
with that.
because really you feel inferior.
Right,
That's
exactly. That's
really
the
a
point.
defense mechanism. That's really fear. You
That's the
really
point.
feel you got to act out to try to promote yourself. And see,
Right,
that's something that, again, I thank God for that, that I never was in that position to ever try to extend myself to the point where I need to be noticed or heard.
right.
I always love to, I was one of the people that would walk in the room and I would get attention that I didn't even want. You see what I'm saying? I just come in to try to observe, but I just never had a problem with casting a shadow in the room. I just never had a problem with ingratiating with people. I have never had a problem galvanizing people. I just had it. Some people just have it, and where you don't have to make a noise. See what I'm saying? It's just the way you walk, the way you move, the way you look, the way you smell, who you with, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
So sometimes, like, it showed that he still feels inferior
yeah,
to certain people. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand it because I've never felt that way. I've never felt that way. Anything that I wanted, and I had is because I wanted and I had. I didn't get it that I don't wear the clothes that I wear to try to put me in a basically a certain type of status or make me look a certain type of way. I did it because I wanted to, brother. I liked it. You see what I'm saying? And just because certain people they probably don't like it or whatever, that's cool. I don't dress or go to dress somewhere for somebody else's approval. I just never had. So I thank God for that, and I give God credence, for everything, but especially
Yeah.
for that type of mindset because it allowed me to be separate from other people. It allowed me to be able to,
I think you got
stand up for
feedback
what
back
is
there.
right. Huh?
Hey, True. I think you got feedback back there, man. I think you got a background noise.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Uh, it's good to be thankful, man. It's good to be thankful. It's good to be, I woke up this morning and I saw the sunshine coming through the window. And I was just like, man, thanks God. Thanks God, man.
Yep.
This is just to have that sunshine coming through the window, man. I mean, to experience that, because some people ain't experiencing that, man. And like you say, you ever been locked up? You know, man. There's times where you don't know if it's 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 2 p.m. You don't know what's going on, right? so so it's a trip, man. It's a thankfulness to be around and have God think enough of us, man, to put that sunlight through the window, and give us another chance a day to try to rectify anything that we don't have right, to get it right. Um, yeah. So anyway, the Jim Jones situation, that was a tragic situation, unfortunately. But a lot of us are like our we're little boys. We're grown. We're in grown men bodies, but we're little boys, and we have the insecurities of that little boys have, and we still carry that stuff around with us, and we don't realize that we display this stuff doing stuff like that. We don't realize that. And why don't we realize that? Because like you and I were talking about, having people around us that'll tell us, hey bro, you out of pocket with that, man. you out of But see, nobody, when you throwing around enough money around, sometimes you have unscrupulous people, man, that won't sell you. Stevie Wonder, the great Stevie Wonder had people working for him, man, they was digging all throughout his pockets. They were all in and out of his pockets. They had him going places with clothes that was all jacked up, and he didn't even know, right? Because he couldn't see. His family had to step to him and say, hey, you know what? Your situation is not good. You need to let us get involved. But he would have never knew, because the people around him was just taking his money. Same thing, Mike Tyson. Same thing with who's the other guy? I forget the other guy's name, but these are people that people was taking advantage of them, and they couldn't see it. They couldn't see it, and other people had to come into the fray and tell them. All right, Truth. Any closing remarks, man? Any final remarks, man? Because I'm about to shut this thing down. And it was a good stream. I thank you, brother. It was a very, very good stream. Even though it was just the two of us, man, we had a good time. I had a good time, at least. We had a good time. We had Rorschach on the thing, I think, right? So he came through. But yeah, we had a good time, man. We had a good time. But any closing remarks, my brother?
Oh no, it's another great show. We had a good conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for sharing the panel with you and everything like that. Learned a lot as always. And hopefully people will gain something and glean from the things that you shared.
Yeah, man.
Need more
Same thing with you, brother. Same thing with you. And see, what happens, Truth, is a lot of people watch on the replay. That's why I noticed that we get a lot of people watch us on the replay. So hopefully they'll catch us on the replay, man, and they will see that you know, once again, we tried to give them something to you know, aspire to or think about. Maybe they could add to their life and maybe change, give it, put a more positive spin on it. Right? All right, Brother Truth, I'm gonna put you down, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for keep my argument straight. I appreciate a brother like you, man. And
Likewise, man.
stay being the way you are, brother. Stay being that way, and you know, eventually people will come around and say, you know what, that's a good dude, man. I got stuck on something he said or this, but that's a good dude because it happened to me, happened to Rico. I'm sure it's gonna happen to you too.
Oh no, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
Man, if I was short, like I said, you know, the people that I talk to, you know, Daryl, Chicago Rilla, and so many more. Like these are the people that I talk to behind the scenes and everything like that. And you know, I have people on my like offer here that I talk to. You see what I'm saying? I'm 38 years old. You see what I'm saying? I've done so much in my life. You know,
right
so
on, man. Right on.
it's again, it's not. I'm not looking for everybody to come. I'm not looking for, and my voice is not for everyone. You know, my voice is for some
Yeah,
people. Your voice is for some people. Rico
correct.
voice is for some people, and other people voice for some people. You know, I don't take offense to that. You know, if I'm not for you and I'm not your cup of tea, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah, it is, brother.
Yeah,
It
you
is.
have a great one, brother, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon, my brother. Peace. Truth as favor came through. Him and Rorschach got into it. They hashed it out. Man, what do y'all think? Did we hit what we were trying to hit? A little bit. We really, you know, we really, you know, me and Truth find we kind of like have similar opinion on the Manosphere and on Kevin Samuels type of the relationship doctrine. But the thing about it is, high value men, will they die alone? I think Truth is right. I feel the same way. I think they're going. I mean, eventually, if you, a lot of these guys, they say, I don't have any children, I don't have a wife, but I hate the family court. But you're gonna feed the family court when you die. Guess who's gonna get all that high value? Guess who's gonna get all that? You don't have any relatives. You don't have any children to pass that generational wealth to. Guess who's gonna get that generational wealth? Your uncle, your favorite uncle, Uncle Sam. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that. Your other favorite uncle, rather. He's gonna get that money. What's he gonna do with it? He's gonna fund the court system that you said you didn't like. So you're gonna end up doing all that work and feeding the dragon at the end, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys could bring one of them people over here, Coach Greg Adams, or one of them other people over here to debate me on it and explain to me how you where that money's gonna go if you are a high value man, and you have no children and no wife and or even if you do have children, and you know where's most of that money gonna go? Because they're gonna have to pay an inheritance tax, right? State and federal, right? Well, I don't know about the federal, but and I know if you live in California, you're gonna have to pay an inheritance tax. So, so where's a lot of that money going? Yeah. We talked about a lot of different stuff. Do men need love? Do men need love? I believe they do need love, right? Why do I believe that? Well, let's look at the book of Genesis. Let's look at the book of Genesis real quick. You guys got time? You guys got a minute? Let's look at the book of Genesis. All right, so let's look at the book of Genesis. And let's see. Let's start. I just want to talk about where the woman came into fruition. So let's start at Genesis 2:6, right? But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground, right? So now the oceans being made, and the Lord formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, so now you got your man Adam there, right? And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. So now God made this. God first, he made the man. He didn't make the garden first. He makes the man first. He makes the man first, but the man ain't had nothing to do. So now you got to give him a job. So God gave him a job. Hey, you got to go work this garden. And out of the ground, the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for the food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. Okay. The name of the first is Pison, which compasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold that is good, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same that is compassed the whole land of Ethiopia. And so these rivers is splitting off into four heads, meaning there's four places where you could actually live, right? Because there's water going through there. And in the name of the third river is Hiddekel, and which is goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. Now he got a job. First the man was made, then the garden was made, then the man was put in the garden. Now he got a job. And the Lord God took the man, put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. Now he got a job. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayst eat freely, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day thou eat of it thou surely shalt die. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. Here we go. Do men need love? Well, let's read this, 2:18, Genesis 2:18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Okay. We just wanted to look at it and see for ourselves what was going on, right? What was going on? What is really going on? So, do men need romantic love? Well, God said, let's read 2:18 again. Genesis 2:18 again. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. But the high value man is telling you, hey man, be alone. Go be an incel. Go be a monk. Go be a pope. Go be what do they call it? A father of the church, a father, a bishop, or whatever, right? Go be one of these men that swear off women. But the Lord said, it's not good that men should be alone. How can we reconcile? This must be reconciled. So I think that God is, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, probably God is right. So if you mad at women, let's check out who's responsible for the women that you got around you. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Okay, now who's responsible for the women? Who's responsible for these women that you're so mad at? So you mad at the wrong person. Why are you mad at the woman? The woman is the product. You got to get mad at the potter. right? The Quran says, if a vessel is made for dishonor, if a vessel is made for dishonor, don't blame the clay, blame the potter. For it was the potter who formed the clay, right? The potter made the clay. It wasn't, the clay was ours. The potter made the clay and formed the clay. In this instance, right? The potter formed the clay. Maybe, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just go by the book. And out of the ground, Genesis 2:19, and out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living thing, creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, fowl of the air, and every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. Now they call him Adam, right? When did they start calling him Adam? Well, when did they start calling him Adam? They start calling him Adam here in Genesis 2:19. And unto Adam to see what he would call. Okay, so now they calling him Adam. They gave him a name now. He didn't even have a name at first. And Adam gave names to cattle, right? And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs. He, the Lord God, took one of his, Adam's, ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Right? Who is this man? Is this Adam? Is this Adam? That's a good question. Because how come they don't say brought her unto Adam? They say they brought her unto the man. It's a good question. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife. So now at this point, she becomes a wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Do men really need to be loved? I think they do. I think they do. I think they do. We just read in the Bible where obviously God thought that, right? And so he set up a situation where the man could be loved. The man could have some companionship, right? Anyway, y'all think over these things. Think over these things that we talked about today. I know it's not salacious, right? Oh, this person is attacking this person. This person is attacking that person. Woo, woo, woo. I know. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you things that's going to help you, really help you in your life. Not whether this person said this about that person and that person said this about that person. Will this stuff really help you in your life? I told you about Benjamin Banneker laying out DC, right? Laying out DC, surveying DC. And Benjamin Banneker made a clock out of all wood that was very accurate for years and years and years. I told you about being a full stack developer, right? And the qualifications you need to have to be a full stack developer. I told you about black boys, black men as it relates to statistical metrics of life and death in for black men. Black men are leading in mortality rates. Everything bad, black men are leading in that. I told you. And I told you why. A lot of times our people are saying, we're not getting things because we're black. No, the third grade. See, you're unprepared. You're unprepared and you're going out here and you thinking you're prepared and you're not prepared. Some of these white boys have been doing coding since they was 6 years old. They've been coding computers. They've been coding computers. They're on it. Not to say all white people are on it, but I'm just saying they're on it way more than us. We got to get black boys third grade math, science, algorithms, logarithms, all of that. We need to be pushing it on them starting in the third grade. Third grade. You don't take black boys. See, I'm telling you for real. They might be telling you it's ADOS and it's just FBA stuff. I'm talking to you from the root. The root. The root is getting black boys in the third grade to accept mathematics and science. Period. Period. Who else is telling you this? Your favorite uncle? Really? They're not telling you none of this stuff. How about your favorite security lady? They trying to get you to go on a goddamn date. They're not telling you how to get this stuff. They're not even talking to you. And if you go over there, guess what? You get a bunch of bad advice, and then they say, "You're right. You're right, security lady. You're right, security lady. You're right. You're right. You're right." Nobody tells none of them people they wrong. At least here, Truth will tell me if he, have an issue. Rico will tell me if he had an issue. Anybody on the panel will come up and tell me. Marcus will tell me if he have an issue. Anybody on the panel will come up here and tell me they had an issue. Hell, you guys in the chat, Sister Enya would tell me, Sister Enya, Quantum, all of you guys will tell me if I have an issue, if you guys have an issue. Right? Especially JP, oh my gosh. JP will call me directly and say, Clarence, you messed up. Clarence, you messed up. And here, let me tell you why. And no, I'm not letting you interrupt me, Clarence. I'm going to tell you why. Shout out to JP. So, that's why I like it over here, because I believe everybody's going to tell me the truth about something. If they really have an issue, they're going to come to me, approach me with it. All right, so that's it. I think we can't talk about no more. We told you about everything that's going on. Told you how to get you a job making $100,000 a year. Told you how to get your children in the best, set them up for the best possible situation. Introducing math and science to them in the third grade, at least by the third grade. If not, whatever grade they're in, jump in there right now. Don't let them get to the 12th grade and then they have to look at the STEM situation and it looks like a mountain that they got to climb on their hands. They got to walk on their hands to climb over it. It's just going to be too much. It's too much for them. It's too much. You really love these children? Prepare them properly. Prepare them for the reality of life. The reality is, ain't nobody going to give them nothing. Life, this world comes to the prepared. The only people that can take advantage of this life is the prepared. People that are unprepared, you're not going to be able to take advantage of opportunities. And it once was said, it's better to be prepared for opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And a lot of us are just not prepared for this, for STEM life. STEM is here. And only thing is, are we going to accept it and adjust how we deal with our children or not? That's the only question. Are you going to adjust how you dealing with your children? Oh, my children, I'll let them have fun. Yeah, you should let your children have fun. But third grade, black boys, third grade. Third grade for black boys, man. You got to get them in the math and science in third grade. 3rd grade, you got to start hitting them hard. Okay, son, you want to go play your video games? Okay, we got to do these math problems. We got to do these science problems. We got to do these physics problems. Physics? I'm in the 3rd grade. I don't care. I don't care. We're going to put you in these physics. We're going to get you these physics problems, and we're going to do these physics problems. But Clarence, I don't live with my son. I don't live with my daughter. I guess you're going to be picking up the phone, brother. Or you got to learn how to use StreamYard. I guess. I mean, what else are you going? What? I had a boss. I had a boss used to say this all the time. He used to say, "We got to do X, Y, Z." He said all these different things we got to do to get our store ready for. I used to work for a great American company called Foot Locker. He used to tell us all this different stuff that we had to do to get our store ready for these big sales, right? And we used to be like, "Damn, man, we gotta put all this stuff up. We gotta put all these banners up and everything like that." So we always used to push back, and our boss used to say, "What's our option? What's our option? If we don't do this, we're not gonna make enough money. You guys are not gonna eat. Is that what you want?" When you put it like that, no. What's our option? What's our option in the black community? To let our children keep going down the drain because we chasing social status? We chasing these women around? We chasing these men around? We want to show that we still got it? I made a fire, right? he's made of dust, right? Ain't that that's what the devil said in the Quran, right? I made a fire. He's made of dust. You put him over this world that you built, my jealousy gonna drive me to. I'm gonna wait for him in the straight path. I'm not even gonna wait for him in the bushes. I'm gonna wait for him in Sarat al-Mustaqim, in his straight path. In his straight path. I'll wait for him there. So he ain't gonna be I'm not gonna hide from him. I'm going to be right out in the straight path, waiting for him to divert him from what you want him to do, God. I'll be waiting right there to divert. I'm not even gonna hide. That's how mad I am. I ain't even gonna respect you enough to be in the bushes. I'm gonna be in the straight path. The devil is waiting for our children in a straight path. What's the straight path? That's just the free. That's the free walk, right? The free news media, the free radio. The devil is waiting for our children in their straight path. The free internet. They can look on the internet and get their mind twisted at any moment. At any moment. And they're getting off because you know why? They're watching us as the grown-ups, and they're watching what's important to us. And what's important to us is social media. Likes and views, TikTok, this type of thing. That's what's important. Not character, not people, not family, not God, not service. Money, women, crazy lifestyles. I'm just making a plea to black men. Please, black men, step back into these children's lives. Right now, black men, we got so many of our young men that are out here. I told you guys, and I just told Truth this story. I used to go all over the city of LA with my work. And sometimes I would run into families in that process because I had to go to people's homes. And I see children, man, they hadn't seen a man in so long. They literally looked at me like I was from space. They didn't even, and the boys were so drawn to me the boys were so drawn to me because they haven't seen any masculinity in so long. They were just drawn to me. Hey, little man, how you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Can I do that when I grow up? Yeah, man, you can do whatever you want, man. You gotta be, but you gotta work hard. Or do you do your math? Do you do your homework? Well, I'm gonna work on it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to do it. Okay, man, you gotta do your homework, man, because you gotta learn how to do this, right? If you study, you can do it. All right, Mr. Man, thank you. Appreciate you. What your name is? Clarence, brother. Okay, Mr. Clarence. Thank you. I see you later. All right, I'll see you later, little man. Take care, man. Study. Take care of your mom. Take care of your mom. Take care of your pops. Take care of your people. All right, I will. They're just so happy they're connecting with somebody with some masculinity. Never let your bond go with your sons. Never let that bond go. Brother Clarence, you going on and on and on and on and on. I try not to. I'm trying not to. I just have so much. I'm like Jesus with that fish and that bread. Every time I reach into this bag, I just get more and more. I can go in that bag and just keep getting more and more and more out. I have to stop myself. I have to stop myself. But y'all worth it, man. Y'all God's people, man. Y'all worth it, man. So I have to take the time to talk to you, man. If you really want it, if those of you that really willing to stick around and listen and get this, then hey, you know what? If it's only 5 of us here, that's cool, right? That's cool. I'm just trying to teach as much as I can. So black men, get back in there with your children. Those of you guys that are watching this on the replay, we have no choice. We have no choice. You can't blame black women if you're not in your child's life. Oh well, I'm not in my child's life because the woman won't let me into the child's life. Okay, then that means you got to fight on your hands. You got to fight on your hands. And the way you make sure you don't have a woman like that is don't pick women like that. You got to learn how to vet women better. See, include character. Character is very important. When you're vetting women, character is very important. A lot of women don't have character. They don't develop character. Why? Because women don't need character from the ages of maybe 18 to about 24, 25. They don't need character. Men are going to be attracted to them strictly off the beauty appearance. Men that's considering them for wives, that probably won't be down until down the line, probably about 25, 26, 27, somewhere in there. After they see that the woman has acquired some maturity. A woman don't have to have developed character. See, character is something that keeps men. Character is not what attracts men. Character is what keeps men. That's why so many women cannot keep a man, because they don't have character. Why? Because they never developed it. They don't have to. Women don't have, especially women that are very good looking, they don't have to develop, they don't have to have good character. Men are not interested in them because they have good character. They're interested in them because they are have a very high beauty appearance. So they're attracted to the beauty appearance. You take the beauty appearance and then take that, and on top of that beauty appearance, the woman knows how to amplify the sexual tension. Most men are going to fall like a domino. Shout out to Donald Byrd. They're going to fall like dominoes under that situation. The woman's good looking, plus she can create high sexual tension. You think a guy's going to be looking for character in that soup? The average guy's not going to be looking for character in that soup. But you as a woman, what you need to do is don't use sexual tension as much. Use a blend of small amount of sexual tension with character. Character is what keeps men. Character is what's going to keep a man around. When a man see that you have a certain kind of character, that means to him, okay, I can work with this person. But if you don't have no character, he's gonna put you in the other category. Men just really have two categories: women they're gonna sleep with and women they're not gonna sleep with. That's pretty much it. Those are the two categories men put you in. If you don't have no character, they're gonna put you in the I'm just gonna sleep with this woman character. Now, in the I'm sleep with women character, now in the I'm gonna sleep with women slot, there's another slot, which is I will continuously sleep with this person, or this is just a one, this is a one and done, right? So to consider you for a long-term relationship, you have to display character for the average man. Now, in the simp army, you don't have to display nothing. The simp army is so happy to have a woman showing interest in them. They don't make no requirements on a woman. Unfortunately, that's bad on everybody, because if long-term relationships, they should have requirements on both sides, men and women. But the average man, once they see, especially the simp army man, just getting attention from a woman, they lose their mind. Oh man, my gosh, she giving me attention. Whether it's genuine or falsified, they don't trip. They don't trip. They just go with the flow. They don't put no demands on the woman to develop her character. But women between the ages of 16, I would say 16 and 25, they don't have to have no character. Men are coming at them strictly for their beauty appearance. So what's the point of having character? What's the point? Who's putting them in a position where they have to develop character? They don't. They can be as silly as they want to be, and because of their beauty appearance, men are still going to be running after them. It's not till the woman starts seeking something other than just trysts and one and dones that they finally go, I want you as a man to see me as a long-term prospect, right? How am I going to do that? Well, most women say, it's up to you to look at me and see that. But no, it's up to you to sell that point to the man. And how do you sell that point to the man? Displaying character. I already know you got a beauty appearance, and I already know that you can raise the sexual tension at any time. What else is there? So can 3 billion other women on this planet. What else is there? But I look so good that you should be willing to just deal with whatever I'm doing, right? Those days are long gone, ladies. Those days are long gone. Those days are long gone. If you're looking for men to be into you just because you're beautiful, some will. But if you're looking for men to invest large amounts of resources into you just because you look good, those days are over. Only the simple army is willing to do something like that. And let me ask you a question: Are you willing to respect the simp army? Most women don't respect them. Even if they choose one of those guys, they don't really respect them. They cheat on them. They do different things to them. Because the simp army, they don't put no requirements on the relationship. Hey, I want you to be, with just me. They're so happy to get attention from a female. They don't have no restrictions. There are no deal breakers. right? Like Will Smith. There ain't no deal breakers. You can sleep with this man, not only sleep with this man, but sleep with this man in the house, in my house. Well, you see what happens at a certain point. You just crack, you just snap. Everybody, you know why? Because everybody has a line that they don't want crossed. They want to be treated right. I don't care how stupid somebody is, they still want to be treated right. And if once they start understanding they're not being treated right, that's going to eventually make them crack. And that's what happened to Will Smith. We slapped Chris Rock. He just cracked. He just snapped. Anyway, I'm going to leave y'all alone. I know y'all want to go see other people talking about all of these different drama and all of that different stuff. I hope I gave y'all something to think about. I hope I gave y'all something to consider to change your life for the better and change these boys' lives for the better. These black boys, 3rd grade. We need to get in there, 3rd grade. Okay? All right, we will see y'all probably Tuesday. Maybe I have Rico with me, and hopefully I will have Rico with me. If not, it will just be me and you, and we will be here together. But thank you, everybody in the chat, for showing up. I appreciate y'all on Sunday, my hard drivers, Risa, Any, and Quantum, and all the rest of y'all out there. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all so much for stopping through. We will see y'all on Tuesday, and thank you.